Look at us, already relying on stream to tell us when we're making mistakes.
Yep, and I mean,
We're practically pros already.
yep, and we are good to go.
Awesome. Okay. Welcome back to our playthrough of the entire Assassin's Creed series.
In order, mostly.
Mostly.
Probably, actually, but for now, mostly.
We'll see what handhelds look like.
Yeah, mostly.
Okay, skipping an entry doesn't mean you're not doing it in order, necessarily. If you're still in order outside of that.
Are we not?
It really depends on what you're talking about.
He's not getting voice or something?
No, it is not getting the game audio.
Well, that's not a good sign.
Oh, hang on. I bet I know why. It's transmitting to the wrong output.
That makes sense.
Normally, when we're in our regular location, it's separated on its own there. But here, I had it hooked up to Bluetooth headphones while I was doing some work.
Okay,
Mmm.
that makes sense.
So I bet it was just still trying to send all audio to these.
Well, that'd be problematic.
Okay, well,
Now, ideally, we should start getting game audio to the TV and us and everything.
I'm still not seeing any game audio. Probably.
Well, the more likely thing is that I might just, since we did that in effect, I might just need to manually just double check the output.
Yeah, either that or probably exit the Windows and then if we can get back on again.
Okay, put on the other scene again.
We will work to resolve our technical difficulties.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's see. Oh, yep. There we go. It's picking up.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we just had to exit everything and come back.
Issues have been resolved. Back into Italy.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, this is crazy. I can actually move the camera up and down now. I'm unstoppable now.
I've marked the Palazzo
Yes,
Medici
we,
on your map. In order to achieve
we discovered
100%
last time
sync
that,
with Ezio's
unfortunately,
life, you should go
the
explore.
PC port default controller bindings for Assassin's Creed 2 does not bind vertical camera control at all. It exists in the game. It was literally just not mapped to anything.
It's funny.
Amongst the many other weird bindings, which is why normal, sane people, and even most insane people would change their key bindings.
The term you're looking for is cowards. Like, why would you want the X button mapped to your left hand? That was just silly.
Yeah. No, that is silly.
See, you get it.
There we go. Got the little poster.
Okay.
One's in a church.
And
That was not even your guys' fault.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna make it your fault. Wait.
Well, that's
Sorry, I don't know
fine.
what that means, actually.
Yeah.
I thought I was cooking for a second, but I think it's burning.
We're in a slightly different location, so if you hear dogs barking in the background, that's why.
Yeah, ideally it shouldn't pick up at all with the way this audio setup
Yeah,
is
but
working,
just in
Alright, I
case.
can look up to see what's
if
around.
it does, let us know.
Yeah.
The first time, not after that.
Yeah, I mean, like, it should be fine, and they should probably be pretty thin.
Mm-hmm. And if they're not, you know who to blame.
Other than that, the only thing I'm gonna have to do is make witty comments and drink fancy dessert drinks.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of
Ideally in that order.
reminds me of watching this one YouTuber, and a couple of his more recent videos is like, oh yeah, if you hear some meowing in the background, that's just Churro. He's kind of stuck in the room with me right now, so he's very vocal.
Okay, I'll admit, Churro is an excellent name for a cat.
Yeah. Like, he's talked about Churro before on like some of his videos, but it's like, yeah, no, Churro's just in the room, and so if you hear him during these videos, that's the reason why. And every time you actually hear like the meow from Churro, he pulls up a quick picture of Churro.
Hey, look, money.
Yeah.
Don't worry, nothing important was injured.
That's true.
And nothing of value was lost.
Makes sense. You got the most important thing. Treasure.
Indeed. And look, I already healed some of the damage.
Yeah.
It was hollow when they landed.
Yep. I noticed that. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a random wanted poster. Get rid of the.
I don't think it's random if it's of us.
It's a random wanted poster.
That's
Of us.
random to me.
Yeah, it's a random wanted poster of us. Like, why are they looking for us?
Yeah, we don't even have any notoriety.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one.
Well, we should help out whoever this dashing gentleman is.
We should just find where he plays a lot of these.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if they placed one at ground level. I don't think we've seen that yet.
No, we saw one when we were in the tutorial.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've seen a few that were placed on, like, little areas you can climb up.
Yeah.
Parkour spots.
Yeah,
but
same here.
That's 90% of them.
I wasn't kidding.
But you are being judged.
Yeah.
Go back down.
I don't know. I don't think you need a doctor.
Yeah, I'm sure we're fine.
Most doctors are hacks anyway at this point in time. I
Hey,
mean,
hey,
sure, maybe
hey.
they can help you stop a plague, but really, what else can they do?
Well, yeah, that's the most important part. That's why they're called plague doctors.
How didn't you notice?
Escape.
How didn't you guys notice?
He had his AirPods in.
Die together.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know what? I believe it.
Because little known historical fact, Leonardo da Vinci invented AirPods. They were nearly forgotten afterwards until they were rediscovered, dug up in an archaeological site.
Yeah,
Like most of his inventions.
Yes.
pretty much.
Again, the man invented helicopters. You could tell me he invented anything and I believe you.
That's true. The main thing is that he actually built the AirPods on the helicopters.
Ah, that makes sense.
I
Otherwise, that guy couldn't have been listening.
pretty much anything Leonardo da Vinci could have conceived at some point, but didn't actually build because he didn't have the technology to build it.
Ah, there. After him. Eccolo. Get him.
Okay.
Help!
You're
There's been
being
a
a predator?
Moida.
There's been a Moira?
There's actually been quite a lot of Moyas.
Fortunately, this guy won't see me. No, he saw me coming.
He should have just jump assassinated him once he fell down.
No. Okay, now what should I actually be doing right now?
Presumably,
The big exclamation point.
I guess I could head there. I guess.
or
Yeah,
you could also just do whatever jumps in your mind along the way.
probably don't have
exactly.
any use for those viewpoints.
After all,
I am screaming internally right now.
Hey, as long as it's not external.
look, after all, the truth is very simple. He who knows the terrain fails.
I am
This is why
screaming
blind
internally.
speedrunners know what they're doing.
I am heavily screaming internally.
You should get that checked out by a doctor. Maybe not one of these doctors.
You should, yeah. I just love that doctors in this time had a bunch of herbs and spices in their nose cone
Thank God
things,
you're all right.
just so they didn't
This
have to
man is
smell
from
everything.
Medici, and the Pazzi is the
Yeah, after all, what would you rather smell?
Not exactly.
1400s Italy or pumpkin
Well,
spice?
whatever your reasons, the city's safe again.
For
thanks
some
to
people, that's going to be a hard
Tell me,
choice.
how may I be of service? Ah,
I don't have
another
a problem with
page.
pumpkin spice, though. I had some
Aha,
pumpkin spice tea
it's
the
a
other day.
similar
It was
cipher
quite
to
good.
the last one. This won't take long.
I'm screaming internally.
Interesting.
I would have gotten by like a pumpkin spice latte or something. It sounds
See.
disgusting. But that's mostly
It's
because I don't
another
like
blade
coffee
design.
more than I don't like pumpkin
For
spice.
delivering poison.
Can you build it?
See, it won't take very long. I just need to find a way to hollow out the blade without sacrificing the...
It's all
Why
right,
would an
Leonardo.
assassin want to use
Just
poison?
do what you need to do.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It just doesn't seem like a...
Going down. Going
All
down.
done.
The most
I filled your blade
efficient
with a bit
poison
of
delivery
poison to
method.
start with. Should
The
you run
knife
out,
that you
just
already
visit a
keep
doctor.
concealed on your wrist.
Poison. From a doctor?
I think
In high enough
that
doses.
really,
That which cures.
if you're going to use a poison
I
injection
am in
method,
your
it
debt
should be
once more, my friend.
Anytime. it's-
safer than
Anytime.
already your instant kill melee button. Like, if you're in range to poison somebody with this weapon, you can just kill them. You know? I would go with, like, poison blow darts or poison, bow and arrow or something. Range delivery method, you know?
Fresh cartridge. Who requires bleeding?
That's what sounds sensible to me.
Makes sense to me. Have I not done this viewpoint yet?
No.
Oh, right, I got distracted by my father being imprisoned.
Yep.
I don't know about that. That sounds silly.
Yeah, it was years ago.
Last years ago.
Foul creature, stay away from me.
I thought that was an a assassination poster for a second. Easy mistake to make.
Stay back. Guard.
Didn't work. That did not work.
Not
Well,
quite.
that didn't work.
Forgive me, sir. I'm sorry.
And next thing you know, you're naming inanimate objects home run.
Pay attention with that.
You and your weirdly specific fanfiction references.
Careful with that.
It's not too weirdly specific if at least one other person in the room gets the reference. And honestly, sometimes I'll make things even if I'm the only one who gets the reference because it makes me laugh.
You
Or,
want-
in some cases,
Not fair, yeah.
makes
fair.
me very sad.
Don't encourage him.
Because sometimes remembering a random line or a random silly premise thing that I read a long time ago hits me with feelings harder than whatever I am currently engaged in. So I can watch Ezio lose all the family and go, man, that's unfortunate. Bummer. But I say the line, don't worry, Mr. Ethan, I'm only sleeping.
Oh god.
And I am instantly beset by sadness.
There is something very completely normal about you.
Yeah, no, sounds about right.
I don't think I need to climb up this actually.
Oh, the viewpoint. Yeah, okay, so the viewpoint is more over there.
I mean, who knows, maybe there's something cool on top.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah. Also, it's where you come out of the
Very elegant.
It's where you come out after you break into the church for the assassin seal.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Oh wow. Hey, that would have been really helpful when I jumped to my death a few times.
That's true. That would have been very helpful.
The core system is still just off enough that it keeps throwing me off. Like the stuff you're like, you can definitely climb that. You can't climb that, you know?
Yeah. In the first couple games especially, what is and is not climbable is very particular.
Yeah, they do make a much better job of actually showing it to you in this one
Yeah.
compared to the first, but...
And the thing that I was reminded of is that they
Okay,
kind of go in the other direction far enough later. 'Cause I know as far as at least the third game, and I think also in Black Flag, and presumably for a couple of the next ones, you can climb, but you do still have to be pretty careful when scaling like large structures. In terms of you have to follow specific paths. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you might hit a point where you can't just climb anymore. You got to sidle around, look for like the one board that's out of place or whatever to use as your handhold. You know. 4,773 florins in Villa's chest. Good for us.
Money, money, money.
Bolts in the bank. But yes, whereas in Odyssey, which I played a little bit of the other day, it's not quite, but almost more like Breath of the Wild climbing. In the sense that, as far as I've experienced, there weren't any things you just couldn't climb, or like angles of it you couldn't. There's like an entire statue of Zeus that you just can just climb. Like there's no visible handholds or like weak spots you have to use to navigate your way up it. You
Yeah.
just climb it. Like it seems like there are points that
You know,
act
right that point where you have to like go back and forth if you wanna get over.
Yeah.
But yes, there's like, it seems like there's specific points that you can hold onto, but they're not visually differentiated in any way that makes it look like, oh, you're climbing specific, like, you know, imperfections in it or whatever, specific, you know, open windows or crenellations. It's just, these are the spots that were mapped to them, go, good luck, just climb the whole thing, you know?
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sounds like that, how that Skyrim mod does it.
See that mountain over there? You can climb it.
Because there's a mod for Skyrim that came out a couple years ago, maybe, which lets you add a bunch of stuff to like climb through tunnels and climb up stuff you can't normally. It just uses basic animations for it. So you just put in various animation points, but it adds a huge amount of three-dimensional movement to, well, Skyrim.
Okay, we're gonna break physics, y'all.
I just love how he always moves slightly farther in so he
Yeah.
doesn't snap his neck.
Exactly.
It's because Ezio has more sense than Altair does when it comes to jumping into baskets full of stuff.
It's a low bar, but you're right.
Ezio has 100% success rate so far. Altair had like 33 at best.
Yeah. Oddly enough, if we're going based off of that whole thing, like, Altair obviously didn't die from any of them.
Yeah. But he came closer.
Yeah.
He likes to live dangerously. Whereas Ezio prefers to live life Italianly. Plot against Florence's supply line has been detected. End it by killing the merchant at the marketplace in the San Marco district, Lorenzo.
Well, that sounds easy.
Picking up random side missions.
Hey, my buddy Lorenzo de Medici wants me to do something.
Yeah, might as well do.
And I'm sure there is absolutely nothing important about the Medicis.
What the hell, man?
Arno.
No, this should kill two of
I
you.
can't.
Fine, I'll make it free.
Yeah, they're important.
Ooh, gold.
They're important in the sense of like what's going on with the story, but nothing else.
Those are Medici men, aren't they?
I have no idea.
Oh, I have no clue. Because they're a different type of guard that was walking around before we saved Lorenzo.
I think part of that, though, is in a case like this, they're like private citizens guards,
Maybe.
rather than like the sit-down police or whatever. But that that might not be the same. That might be unrelated to this part, you know.
I'm just surprised that all of these are for sale. Like every single art merchant in Florence.
That's because they all know each other.
They all have a lot of copies.
We should buy a couple.
Okay. I bought the 3 cheapest ones.
Grazie.
That's good.
To show off my wealth, you know.
I think if you're talking about showing off your wealth with painting, you do have too much of it.
Are welcome here. Wager or something.
Not if they're commissions from an artist friend of yours.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you were specifically talking about showing off your wealth, then you have too much of it for your own mental health.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's also fair.
Admittedly, I would be perfectly fine if I would had so much money. I was talking about showing off my wealth. Like, I don't consider that a bad state to end up in, even if it's bad for your mental health.
I mean, that's also fair. Because it's also dependent on what you do with it. Like showing off the wealth, but it's also like, how are you doing like most of the time?
Yeah.
Was I even injured that fall? I'm
Oh.
getting better at this.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mostly just think like, you know, showing off your wealth is just like a weird thing to do in general. A lot of things like, okay,
You're not nearly pretentious enough.
I think being able to buy nice things and not worry about it is fine. And I think that would be kind of cool, but like the showing off thing is always like, that always seems like that'd be real weird.
You're the least peacock person I know.
Well, see, what you can do instead is show off your wealth by donating it all to charity.
No, so you can claim it as a tax deduction and actually make more money than if you didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll do what that one billionaire's wife did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's a great way to narrow things down.
No, I know which one you're talking about.
After he died, she inherited a couple billion. I forget the exact number.
Yeah.
So she ends up donating it all to a medical university, I believe.
I believe it was a medical university. It
So
was something medically oriented.
pretty much every student there is able to attend college at that university for free.
Target located. Wrong target.
Yeah.
Nah, I just wanted to get rid of him.
The Medici
Hey, man.
Verga.
Hey, can I have
I don't really need that.
can I have a, yeah, I'm gonna maybe one of this.
I think I'm gonna keep the crimson.
Okay.
Another time.
At least until you get to like Rome and get to buy some other fancy colors. At least I assume Rome has fancy colors. Rome has fancy everything in Italy. Especially once Rome is no longer legally in Italy.
Might as well buy all the treasure
Don't
map.
forget to save your friends.
Okay. It's true. I am Rome and Rome is me.
Yeah.
The great founder, I decree it so.
Weren't you raised by actual wolves?
I think you're just making that up. Much like the Romans did. With most things they say.
You're telling me the Romans just went out, touched grass, and made shit up?
What?
No, I'm not sure if they touched any grass, actually.
They might touch grass.
They trampled grass all the time.
Yeah, no, they definitely touch grass.
So that's what their army's supposed to
Look, it's simple. Rome was the most dedicated to not touching grass out of everybody around them because they built roads. Everyone else just walked on the grass. Rome built roads so they didn't have to.
do. Yeah, but they did all of that in like, what, a day? Isn't that how the saying goes? They did it all in a day and then just got bored?
That doesn't change the fact that they had roads and thus did less grass touching than everybody else.
Do we need nice shoes? Or some good vampiresses?
Would you like to say that word again?
Nope.
There you go, sir.
Vampiresses, what?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna... I'm not gonna touch that one.
They're vampiresses.
I wouldn't touch that one with a hidden blade.
And that's why the other two of us are the assassins here.
That's
Yep.
true. We have made jokes about one of you being an assassin for a long time. Don't worry about it, though.
Nothing that can be proven.
Yeah, nothing that can be proven.
That's probably because nothing is true.
Everything is permitted.
But what can you get away with?
That sounds more like
Murder.
a simpler question to me.
No,
That
it's all-
sounded like an assassin's answer to me.
yeah. What can you get away with? Murder.
That or a member of the Writers Guild. I heard How to Get Away with Murder was very popular.
It was.
I watched like 2 episodes of it, but nothing stuck in my mind.
Season 1 was really great. Season 2 was good. And, or if I remember correctly, what season 2 covered. And then afterwards, it was very, they've jumped the shark like 46 times. Like, it's the type of show that would have worked way better if they just wrapped it up when they finished.
That's true for a lot of things. A lot of shows should have ended a long time ago.
And then all the ones you really wish hadn't are the ones that, well, end early.
Yep.
My apologies, sir.
Like there are some types of shows that can go on for a while, like the procedural dramas, because that's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
So it's like it's fine if
Yeah.
those go on for a long time.
Even those, though, kind of tend to fall off a little bit in their own ways.
Oh, they do. They 100% do. But
It's
it's
like
like it's,
procedural show fall off is a little different from arc show fall off.
yeah, but yeah, it's just and also the follow is like kind of different because you can just kind of go in at X point and be fine
Yeah.
for the most part.
Hey, hey!
Generally with like different characters.
Yeah. Overall, though, I definitely gotta say, man, I wish there was more of this. And then getting your wish granted as the finger on the monkey's paw curls is truly the universal experience. We've got get a new season, it's bad. Get a reboot, it's bad. Get a live adaptation, it's also bad. Oh, and don't forget, of course,
Get an animated adaptation. It's bad.
get a sequel in the form of a movie that even if it's not bad, it's not enough, but also is probably bad.
Oh,
There's
I actually like Serenity.
Look, that's where I said that's why I said probably bad there, because that one was apparently pretty good.
Yeah, I actually.
But a
Are
lot
you
of
implying
in
these
all
rules
honesty-
have occasional exceptions?
like in all honesty,
that one specifically, the other ones.
my introduction to Firefly was actually through Serenity. I watched the movie first, and then I watched the entire show.
Interesting.
I didn't even watch the entire show until like sometime later, when streaming
man, look
services
at
were
that, we're
actually a
rich.
thing.
Yeah, I got introduced with the song.
Same actually, I think.
Buongiorno.
And then, like 2 years later, I was like, maybe I should finally watch
Shall we
this.
take a look at the list?
Fair.
It's because you can't take the sky from me is a really good line.
Honestly, my introduction to Nathan Fillion was actually in Castle. And it
Oh,
was,
same here. Yeah.
and it was only after I watched that Halloween episode where he dresses up as a space cowboy that I got into
You
Serenity.
should definitely buy the mines. The children yearn for the mines.
True,
The minds of Moria.
but
I don't know. I prefer the mines of Lesia.
That's fair.
my buddy Lorenzo had a lot to say about banks, though.
I mean, a bank would be nice.
So I'll just put all of our money into the bank. Don't worry, we can introduce the children to the mines next. That'll be our next major goal now that we have banking.
Gotcha.
Buon viaggio!
Monterezio.
Yeah, we went up by 6,500.
The exact amount of money we put into the bank. We have exactly
Come in, come in.
0
To
return
what
on
do
our
we owe the honor?
We'll get it back.
It's a lot more pages than I thought we collected.
Wow, we're like halfway there. We're almost halfway there.
Wait a minute.
Yep, 13 out of 30.
Yep.
I'm gonna go put your little amulets in place.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will truly be living on prayer. What an elaborate mechanism.
Right, alchemist lady.
Yep.
Yeah, Altair and everyone who had anything to do with anything he did was so extra in this universe.
Oh yeah.
Look, I think we're only contributing further to the fact that this is clearly the Fate timeline.
You know what?
Right.
Fair.
Because only in that timeline would you say, oh yes, every single member of the Assassin Order is like a weird exotic person with like all of this detailed
Ezio!
backstory, personality traits, and an incredible visual
Sent
design.
from Firenze by
named
Il
members.
Magnifico to attend to some unfinished business.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Jacopo de Pazzi.
All the members.
Who is it? We've been at it for days.
At least as
Perhaps
far
what I
as the
carry will
series
help
is
us
concerned.
both. A list of his co-conspirators. One of them will talk before he
We'll go down
dies.
the list one by one
Excellent.
until somebody
These
comes.
men are sure to lack Jacopo's resources, which means they will be easier to find. I will put my scouts to it at once.
Thanks, Mario.
I
It's a
appreciate
very
that.
good thing.
I've got something
that
else
our
for you
Uncle
as well.
Mario owns like
More
the
codex
world's
pages.
biggest
Ah,
and most useful
let's
to
see
us
what we can
mercenary
learn.
company or whatever the hell he does.
What is this? What profit?
Yeah, that's
You find
basically
Uncle.
it.
It's just another damn
It's
mystery.
very fortunate.
The text here roughly translates to only the prophet may open it. There's reference to 2 pieces of Eden, but these pages offer no answers, Nipote. At least, not on
That's
the
probably
line.
not going to matter
You
later.
must find
Nope.
more.
After
We'll
all, we
have to
certainly
save it
never
for
heard
another
anything
day,
like that.
Uncle.
Foreshadowing is a
I have a
literary.
mission to attend to.
As you wish.
love that
Now,
bit.
if you hope to defeat these
The
bastards,
funniest bit.
I
It's a
will
good
need
bit.
to teach you a few things. Meet me on the practice field.
It's great if you're writing a novel, and even better if you're writing a video essay.
Mario wants to teach me again. This better not involve the sword.
All right, Ezio. You're familiar
We
with
both know I don't
counterattack,
use those after
but
one
what
of them tried to
happens
kill my
when your
father.
enemy is as well?
I don't usually give them the
Yeah,
opportunity.
no, he was killed by some rope
Tough
instead.
talk offers little protection against
Yes.
Templar steel.
Then by all means, Maestro. Teach me what
Someday I
to
will
do.
get my revenge on all
Now
rope.
dodge. Poor little face, dying just to follow orders.
You did do it once.
Yeah, and you did it a couple times.
He's not qualifying him.
Yeah, that's weird.
And that's apparently not a dodge.
Filio di Troia! Enjoy the ride down to hell.
Are you doing without moving?
That doesn't work. Oh, there we go.
Okay, that seems to be.
Bene, bene. Now do it again. Much better. One last time now.
Bravo!
Okay, so you got the hang of it. What were you doing wrong?
Well, I was holding down the button, but it didn't register when I started holding the button down.
Ah, okay.
Hurry up and die! I'm getting thirsty.
Let's see it another
Now we're
time.
unstoppable.
The sword's just sitting on the ground.
Yeah,
Doesn't pick it up, he grabs a new one. That's so funny.
Just one more time, Ezio.
Yeah, there's a sucker.
Just call me Mario 3 Swords on account of my 3 swords, see?
And this is why you
Magnifico.
never need an
Once
actual
again,
weapon
you
to beat
exceed
this
my
game.
expectations.
Because if you're actually competent enough to do that,
Signore,
no enemy can
we found
stop you.
Jacopo's men.
Wow, that's incredible. They
And they
found it
wait
in
your
5
word to
minutes.
strike.
Relay the following.
We
No
also
man
had to walk
moves
out
until
here. It
they have
might have been
spoken
like
with
6.
Ezio. Intesi,
It will be done.
Yeah,
go
probably
Ezio.
7.
Visit with my mercenaries in the
It's actually
countryside.
quite distance.
See if Jacopo's
Fine.
lackeys won't lead you
4.
to him. But be careful.
Final
they
answer?
will be expecting
Yes.
you.
I'm going with 13.
Okay. I'm sticking with 7.
That's fair. The next escalation would probably have been like 34 maybe. And at that point it just seems like it'd take forever.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh right. My bad.
A true athlete.
My apologies, madam.
A gentle push for you.
I didn't realize I didn't have my hidden blade strong.
I jumped to push for you.
I straight up can't kill people in my own village.
Hey!
Huh. Would you imagine that? I don't think I ever found that out.
Weird. That's a little disappointing.
After all,
Right.
somebody needs to work in your mines and in your factory and in your bank to keep the money flowing.
Yeah, that's...
Look at that, Ezio. You've become a rich person.
I mean,
Truly,
gives them something to do. Come on.
truly, we either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a real estate owner.
I'm pretty sure as a real estate owner, he actually did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
The weird thing about Ezio and the Auditore family in particular, along with Lorenzo Medici actually, is they had this weird idea where you actually have to take care of the people under you.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you say that, but we do a one-time purchase to the architect to fix things and then completely ignore it and just wait for the money to roll in.
No, we shove it out off on our sister.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, Ezio doesn't care.
I mean, to be fair,
That's
that's what us, the game, that's what we are doing. Who knows what
Are
Ezio's
you
doing?
saying the Animus would lie to us?
Yes.
Would somebody just do that? Go into the Animus and tell lies?
Yes.
Sounds rude.
I'm just starting to buy more and more into the idea that the Animus is just a piece of Eden.
Who knows? Maybe technology-wise, I mean, maybe it came from a piece of Eden.
I honestly do think that's highly plausible because compared to everything else that is completely like regular normal levels of tech, this one specific device is absurdly high tech
Yeah, that's true.
in comparison to like all other pieces of technology in the time period.
To be fair, they might have just figured out how to interface with the piece of Eden that is the bloodline that Desmond belongs to.
Yeah, no,
Because we
that's
do
true.
know his bloodline's a piece of Eden.
I mean, look, that is also possible. I'm just saying
There you are.
that it
Listen,
seems to
we
me.
found Stefano da Bagnone. Just follow this road and it'll bring you to the abbey where he's taken refuge.
Yes. I'm just saying, it seems to me like
Before you go,
the technology is reasonably advanced.
Oh, are we getting
come use them who created these structures.
At the very
My
least,
thanks,
like,
friend.
found alien tech
Oh, probably.
that influenced them to build it, even if that's not literally what you're using. You know?
The cowl does not make the monk. It only makes the Batman.
Are we gonna have to pretend to be
Yeah, we got
group of
smoke
monks
bombs.
again?
Okay, well, how far do we need to go? Okay, that's a pretty long distance.
Why would anyone carry on like that?
Wow, those bombs sure can smoke.
Mm-hmm.
They're lighting up a freedom torch as we speak.
Remember Freedom Fries?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah,
You're better off.
I remember that.
Let us pray, brother.
Pray? Pray for what?
The Lord's protection.
If you think the Lord has any interest in our affairs,
Probably the next courtyard over.
another thing coming. But please, by
Battery's
all
already
means,
dead.
Continue to delude
Oh, yeah.
yourself.
He's already dead and we've accidentally soft locked the game.
You speak blasphemy.
No, I speak
Man,
truth.
a lot of these people must be gamers.
Most exalted existence.
What do you want? Are you
They never
fed
look
or
up.
full? Now I will see who was right.
Where is Jacopo?
Nothing to fear, I suppose. They meet in the shadow of the Roman gods.
That could be anywhere.
Ora si libero dalla
That's
paura. Requiescat in pace.
You're talking to his planes. My target is dead.
Yeah, that's sure, guys. Sure.
Apparently Ezio didn't flee this way. This feels like a Hitchcock film.
Look out! He's got a sword! You idiot! We've all got swords!
I feel like something in that escape wasn't how it was supposed to go.
Very, very elegant work, my friend.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It was like a 2-minute mission. Okay.
Memories start. Hey, reveal useful information by going to viewpoints.
That's a good idea. Ooh, shit. Okay, just stealth. There we go. Didn't even see me coming. Didn't even notice I took it.
I'm surprised he was carrying money on him considering he's just working on the farm.
Do you think Ezio has his own theme song that he hums to himself?
Probably.
100%.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
Like, he stopped doing it for a while after his family died, but you know he had a theme song that played every time he got into like a street brawl. He probably hired a bard to play it at one point, let's be real.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that does sound perfectly,
I bet Da Vinci rewrote it so it actually sounded cool. And that's why they're actually best friends.
That is a certified Da Vinci,
We found Archbishop Salviati. He's barricaded himself inside that villa.
Oh, so you're saying we have to go and
Take some of
burst
my
down
men.
the door?
Use them to clear the fields. Then find a way over the wall so you can open the gates.
Command over my own army. A nice change of pace from the usual sneaking and stabbing. I like it.
I mean, what's the point in having a door if you're not going to close it?
Mario's Mercenaries. The Mario Brothers.
Yep.
It's a me.
Right.
Honestly, where is Luigi?
Hey Ezio, it's your cousin.
Hey, shut up.
Why don't you take me bowling?
We need to play GTA
Because
for
they
this.
haven't invented bowling yet.
That's true.
I'm so good at stealth.
Hey, that these walls will stand for 100 more.
Gotta tell you, I really, really always love it when a fictional universe has just a regular real-world sport, but it's invented for a totally different reason in the fictional world.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's good world.
What was it?
One of my favorite examples is from Lord of the Rings.
How did they spot me?
I don't know.
Wait, what sports does Lord of the Rings have?
So they have a story where
has arrived!
that it goes over in
need to
one of the
find
books.
a
Maybe
way
it's in
to
one, but I
open the
remember which one
gates.
it's in. But the point is that one of Bilbo's ancestors, one of the Tooks, I believe.
I warned you to
was,
stay away, assassin! You should have listened!
Unusually, he was
You Templars. Always
hey,
singing
there's my
the
guy.
same song.
You think a mercenary will scare me? Ah!
They should.
Shall I send your remains to the
so one of his
Mario?
ancestors was like a Took, who I think was unusually large enough, so much so that he actually rode like a
It's
horse
quite a
and not a
plan you
buggy.
have. Spouting nonsense
So
when he
it's like,
sends his other men to die.
yeah.
And there's
I
like
am
this
Alicia
battle
Blair.
where he
What say you to this? Turn
he
back
like
now
swings
and
with a
I'll
hammer so
follow
hard
my
that he like knocks
Sorry,
that head
friend.
off like
Right,
You
he
are on my
invented
leash.
golf.
the chief
Your
orc, and it
fate
goes
is
flying,
sealed.
lands in a hole, simultaneously winning the battle and inventing the sport of golf
Where is
in one
Jack?
blow. Which is pretty great. Such a funny anecdote. It's like,
Emerging
yes, he
only
won
in
the battle
darkness.
and invented golf by decapitating
That
his
answers
orc.
when.
I forgot the
Tell me
golf. The
where.
hobbits had golfing.
So golfing exists in the Lord of the Rings universe, and one of Bilbo's ancestors invented it by killing an orc. And I think that's incredible.
All right, still surrounded.
Kind of reminds me of
Bye.
a book that I read a long time ago, which was it's a baseball book. So I'm not really a huge baseball book. Like, you know,
roasted in the piazza!
but the thing is that baseball, it's not just like a baseball book because it's also Norse mythology. The World Tree runs on baseball. Like this kid is like kind of bad at baseball, but like some shit goes on with like him and like the pitcher on the team who like end up accidentally like going on like a 9 realm spanning adventure to try and stop the coyote from fouling like the well of
worlds, like the well of wisdom, you know, like the heart of the tree,
That makes
and
sense.
everything, and like ruining all life. And to do this, like the first thing is they have to win a baseball game like partway through against like the like fair folk in like one of the realms, probably a type of elf, considering that I think it was mostly Norse stuff.
This sounds
To get their help.
ridiculous.
And then finally,
That guy had more money than the other
and
farmer.
finally it ends with taking the entire group of people and friends they've assembled over the entire adventure to form the perfect baseball team.
I love this.
And I
Beat
do
the
want to
Coyote
read it.
1v1.
I want to read this.
And the entire thing, if I remember right, comes down to actually you were not the guy the prophecy was talking about. Like your role was important in all this, but like the prophecy of like he's going to stop him or like he has what he needs and stuff, that wasn't you.
Okay.
Like the first part was talking about you. The part about actually beating it, the he was not you. Which is
Pretty funny.
yeah. I remember it being like quite good, but it was also, you know, read a long time ago. But if nothing else, just the fact like, oh yeah, you know, like this whole thing, you know, it's like really, really funny. Just like the entire premise and everything, you know.
Can't quite jump that wall.
It's wild. Now that I've got the thought,
That wasn't me showing off. That was Ezio
I'm
showing
gonna
off.
take a second and possibly make a slight amount of noise while I look to see if the book is in here.
Okay.
Because I remember the name.
Man, there was
I'm curious if it's just sitting on the shelf. And...
was it that? There. I remember reading something like decently recently. This was probably like several months ago. That had like a sport, or at least like some sort of activity that the main character ends up like inventing in the land.
That's always a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember what the activity was.
Ezio and Breaking Physics.
Yep.
Name a
pretty
more
much.
iconic pair.
Yep.
Altair and Breaking Physics and his neck simultaneously.
Okay, but that's a thruple.
Or who are those? The two Kardashian girls that the meme is about?
I haven't the foggiest what you're even talking
Yeah.
So the whole name a more iconic duo,
Oh.
there was the whole meme about it.
Yeah, I forget the original meme. It's been a long time.
Yeah, the whole meme was it's like this random person on Twitter showing these two Kardashian girls. And it's like name a more iconic duo.
You know, I've never felt more disdain
I think one
and disfaith
I think
for a family member than when I found out simultaneously that both of my brothers had recently been watching like Jersey Shore related stuff separately, like halfway across the country from each other. We were all together for like, you know, some of that. It's just like both of them have like separately been watching these things. I'm just like, guys.
yeah, I think that's fine.
It's not that bad, honestly. If they're having fun, whatever, I don't care. But it's just very wild because it's like not the kind of thing that you really watch either. The fact that like both of them independently arrived at this is just kind of wild.
Well, my notoriety can't go up any higher. Hey, look, poster.
From what I remember,
Thanks, Bard. I wouldn't have noticed that without you.
I think neither of the girls in the original meme are actually Kim Kardashian, who's arguably like the most well known.
Isn't the whole point of the meme that it's like they're not an iconic duo?
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely kind of like a whole facetious thing, but people took it seriously because you know Twitter.
That Twitter do be like that.
Yeah,
It's true.
and that's why it became a meme. It's because people took it seriously.
Not the reason I would have expected.
Twitter and taking things too seriously. Name a more iconic duo.
Sure. Because I think like the whole thing started
Salute,
with
Ezio. Antonio Maffei has sought
some people
refuge
saw
atop the
it.
city's tallest structure, spouting scripture
then
and arrows in
a
equal
bunch of
measure.
people started
The
taking it
man
way
has
too
clearly
seriously. So
lost
in the
his mind.
comments, they were
Making matters worse,
to this
he's
whole
posted
Twitter thing.
archers
They were
all
talking
around
about
him.
all these
You
various
do well
other
to clear
duos,
them out before
and then it
approaching.
became like and then started
Grazie
like
for
with
the
people
information.
making parodies of it, and then it just kind of grew from there.
Interesting. Learn something new every day.
Yep.
No, that does sound like exactly how a significant chunk of all memes arise.
Yep, no, that's pretty much how
Look at
most
that.
memes
I'm sure that is not important in any way whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Wait, that's
I have to go
not
kill
possible.
the town crier.
This can't be. Hold on. That's computer
Interesting
code.
information, Rebecca.
Let me compile it. Oh shit! It's an encrypted file.
Encrypted file
Upload it to my computer.
Italy.
I'm master of decryption.
in the Animus?
I can't. It's only compatible with the Animus itself.
Upload it to Desmond then. I can't believe this.
Hello, this is... they call me Subject 16. Listen, I don't have much time. There's something I have to show you. We have been lied to this whole time. Everything we know, everything we've been brought up to believe, it's wrong. Okay, I've uploaded the evidence, the file that proves it all. But I've split it into 20 pieces and locked each with a code.
This
Be
is some
too
Resident
careful.
Evil ass secret.
Queen Isabella. No, not her. What century is it? Never mind. I've
Yeah, that's
hidden
a
the
move
code
right
to
there.
the first file
No, no.
inside this program.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Find it. Find them all. And along the way,
Favorite anime vampire.
you'll begin to see the truth.
I'm gonna have to say
That can't be Alucard.
What the heck? How did this get inside our Animus?
Oh,
Dracula from
the memory
Castlevania.
core. We transferred 16
That's fair.
memory data from Abstergo into the Animus
I had to
2.0.
pause for a second because
He
I was
must have
gonna say
hacked the machine
Alucard from
that it left him alone
Castlevania as my
between
second pick.
sessions.
Hold on, wait a
Obviously,
second.
Dracula's more
The
iconic,
signs on
but
the
you
walls
know.
in Abstergo.
Fair.
The ones written in blood.
Honestly,
But that would have been
He
failing.
was
your
telling
no
us to look
Alucard
for them
rule.
inside the
So-
Animus.
yeah, true.
But yes, Alucard Helsing is my pick.
Ceres is definitely up there.
She's great. I wouldn't call her iconic,
Oh yeah.
but she is great.
And the I forgot about these.
Oh, okay. So this keeps the. Oh no, this is. Oh.
Hmm.
Let's see where they picked them. Oh, you know the truth.
Very subtle. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. It's
They all
okay.
have an apple of Eden.
Yep. Duper 568. File unlocked.
Very helpful.
Yep. I completely forgot about this part.
I did not.
I remember
what.
I remember the subject 16. I forgot
Yeah.
about the puzzles.
Yeah, I remembered Subject 16. I forgot all of the reveals connected to him, though.
Oh, that's fair.
Let's see. Oh, okay. I am incredibly stealthy.
Yeah. Anyway, like speaking of anime vampires, like I'm trying to think.
Honestly, outside of those two, I'm having trouble thinking about
As-
prominently each of them right now. But they exist. I just can't remember their name.
Yeah, one of my favorite, probably not my favorite, but one of them, Evangeline A.K. McDowell.
Oh yeah.
Just because
she's
the
technically a vampire, yeah.
just because the way she's used in the story, she's just a Deus Ex Machina literally every time she shows up, even at the end of the series.
I think even in you older, she's still a Deus Ex Machina a lot of the time.
Yeah, I never got into that one.
I only read like the first bit of it, and I never got into it much either.
The premise didn't grab me because when I found out about it, we already knew the route Fate ends up taking in that timeline. And between Fate and Eva, I feel like she's the one that would have gone back to being evil, not the person who was like, genocide is bad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright.
And child soldiers are also not something we support here.
Well, I mean, a lot of that stuff happens though. Like, if something happens to your psyche enough, or just changes everything that's going on, you can drastically change your worldview.
Yeah, but considering he already started with the child soldier type stuff, it just made more sense in my head for him to be the one that doesn't become a worse person.
I mean, yeah, but like, you never know with humans.
Away with you,
Yeah.
demon.
Have some
Like I said, it
respect
just
for
never
death,
helped me.
my friend.
Wait,
I'll show you
I
respect.
didn't know it was me either.
I will.
As
The
an
concept of a bunch of immortals running around,
Corpo,
and the exploration of that is a cool concept. So I might eventually read it, but
Yeah, and I also heard, like, overall, apparently, I don't know if this is preserved, but apparently it starts, like, after a certain point, it starts, like, a sharp decline.
yeah, I heard it was. I think it did that when it was getting close to being canceled.
Yeah.
We believe in respecting corpses here.
And then, things picked up around the end. But that was, like, about it.
Hey, score.
So, as an additional discussion starter, I went and looked up top anime vampires
Okay.
to go and get a list, which I'm sure is going to have some stuff I don't agree with.
Characters from like Vampire Night and like.
That was on there.
What was her name from Rosaria?
That's also one I forgot
Maka.
entirely that's on the list.
No, not Maka.
No, it's not Maka.
Mocha?
Mocha. Yeah.
But
Dan, that
honestly,
was
that's not a terrible pick either, I
Yeah.
think, because
It's still going.
What?
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that, actually.
I felt like I remember reading the finale.
Well, that was the first one.
Okay.
They made a sequel.
Ezio,
And in the sequel, I think it's still ongoing.
Okay.
we found Bernardo Baroncelli.
Ottima notizia. Tell me where he is and I'll see that he's dealt with.
That's the trap. Lorenzo
But
actually
yeah,
had to
in
arrest
the
him
meantime,
days
before you
ago,
get back to that, I'll
after
do
being
this
returned
list
to us
at
from
least
Constantinople.
looking that up.
But he
This
escaped.
one, I guess
We
this is
believe
actually
him to be
based on
somewhere
every
inside
anime,
San
not
Gimignano.
specifically vampires
bene.
in anime.
I'll see if I
That's
can
what the
pin him
title on
down.
this one.
How do you
But
expect
either
to
way, this still
succeed
gives a
when the
decent
rest of
starting
us are
point. And
here?
number 10. Number 10 is
my
Vampire
ways.
Knight, which I don't know anything about except for the fact that I don't think it was very good.
It was.
Or I've never heard anything good. But I also don't know anything about it.
It was. When it came over to America, I think there wasn't a lot of options, so
Okay, so it's like okay for the time, but like not so great in retrospect.
it became a classic just due to its prominence at a time when it didn't have much competition.
So I definitely mixed it up with something else. Because season 2 also did end back in 2014. I thought there was I remember there being a series that was still ongoing, and I was very shocked to see it still being ongoing.
Is it like a High School DxD or something like
Oh
that?
no, High School DxD ended. I think they made a sequel series now.
Yeah, I remember like hearing like it's one of those things where like I don't hear about much, but like I saw somebody like talk about like something and like I didn't even know like that. Like I think what it was is somebody was talking about like politics or something. I'm like, I thought this was about like devils and like Christian and like you know like the church and stuff. Like it's like one of those things where, like, oh, like I thought this was like a Christian mythos sort of like thing. Why are they like Valkyries? You know.
Ezio, don't go for civilians, go for your target.
But he was at our age and he hit the attack button.
No, I think Ezio just wanted to kill 2 people at once.
I knew you were done.
Where is Jacopo?
Yeah.
So you can do to him what you've done
There's
to
numbers
me.
down there, Vampire
There is
Knight.
still
which I'm
time
sure
for
is
you to
fine.
clear your conscience.
Yeah,
We
but
gathered
Number 9 on there,
church.
Vampire Princess
When a meeting
Miyu.
is
I
called.
don't know anything
Dwarven
about it,
Ranger.
but
I've not watched it, but I've heard about it.
that one looks kind of
Scatting
classical, mostly based on the fact that it was apparently from 1997.
I'd do it.
Which in anime terms, that is pretty classical.
At least it's modern anime.
Another one on here
Oh,
that
I
I'm
should
probably unfamiliar with, 8 Blood Sea.
Oh yeah, I only watched like 1 or 2 episodes of Blood Sea. I just remember it being like okay.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it.
Bakemonogatari?
What?
Yeah.
Bakemonogatari.
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
know that one was-
there's vampires. Yeah, it does have vampires.
I did not know that. Alright, so that's number 7.
That's fair.
Number 6, Blood Lad. 11 episode series from 2011. I heard this one.
Yeah.
That one.
Slice of Life. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So that probably has the most overpowered vampires on the list.
Well, yeah.
Quite possibly. It's like, okay, yeah, you know, the vampire here doesn't care about your stuff. Instead, would rather chill at home, gaming, reading manga, hanging out with his friends.
You know, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Relatable vampire.
I do actually. I do think I remember seeing one from like, just like sometime in the last couple of years. It was kind of a similar premise where it's like like the, godlike vampire lord or whatever, who was like an old-fashioned guy, but now just like now it's comedy shenanigans.
Oops.
Slice of life stuff where he'll like accidentally walk outside and like get dusted, come back and play video games around. I remember seeing like some people talk about it like when it came out. I don't remember what it was though. But I guess this premise sticks around for a reason.
Yep.
So, number 5 is Rosario Vampire.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Rosario and Impulsive Part.
I think I remember watching a little bit of that. It was kind of a neat general premise, and I do think that one of those things where like, okay, it has a lot of characters that are just kind of nothing burgers, like with a lot of similar kinds of series. I do remember like the main love interest character actually being like pretty interesting by like those standards though.
The succubus girl, I'm blanking on her name.
Yeah, I remember.
I really liked how they.
I want to say.
Yeah, I really liked how her power set functioned.
I don't remember thinking about it honestly.
It involved a lot of illusions and shit like that.
It was a lot of illusions.
It was a very interesting take on the classical sex demon.
Yep, fair. Yeah, my main things I remember about it was like the main thing about the vampire. It's like, oh yeah, she's like kind of a regular big girl, but that's just like, oh yeah, like the real personality is like the most unhinged, thing or whatever.
How'd I die?
Which, interesting stuff.
Guess even Ezio's ankles can wear out after a while.
Number 4, Vampire Hunter D.
Knew that'd be on the list.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, my first encounter with Vampire Hunter D was
I forgot that show existed.
the Adventure Quest parody character.
That makes sense. Probably that was technically mine too, I just didn't know it.
Yeah, I knew it was a reference to that immediately, but I'd never actually seen anything related to it prior.
Fair.
Oh, there it is.
This one I heard a little more about. Number 3, Blood Plus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another one of those things, I never watched it, so it didn't like occur to me, but I'm like, okay, I have heard that as being like a good vampire show.
There's one with a long name, but I can't remember which one it is.
I think I
Oh,
also
not
watched a
on this
couple
list,
episodes of
apparently.
Blood Plus. Now I think about it.
Because we come up to number 2, Hellsing Ultimate,
Oh yeah.
which I think incorporates the greater Hellsing,
Yeah.
within it.
I mean, Hellsing Ultimate was
concerned.
the better
Yeah.
anime between the two.
It was.
And of course, essentially it's simple. There's nothing we can say about Alucard that hasn't already been said already with regards to him being kind of a definitive vampire.
Yeah. There's a reason I took him off the option.
Yes, he is the anime vampire.
He is.
That's just a fact.
Also, a left foot trapped in sensual seduction is such a ridiculous, over-the-top name for a song.
Fair.
But perfectly fitting for Alucard.
And as far as this one is concerned, though, there is one that beats out Hellsing Ultimate on this list, which, you know what, I will call it an okay pick. It surprised me a little bit, but maybe shouldn't have surprised me that much. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is one of the better Dracula stories.
I wouldn't think of it as being a vampire anime in the sense that most of the stuff on here is talked about, but it also kind of is, because, like, especially, like, entirety of Phantom Blood, it is literally about one vampire that is the main bad guy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Phantom Blood is literally just a rewriting of Dracula.
Yeah. But yeah, like, and like, there are multiple arcs, like, the vampire thing comes up, like, it doesn't, it surprised me more, it surprised me just from, the fact that I don't usually think of it in that context. But it absolutely heavily features vampires. So that one's fair.
Like,
here's a much worse list.
oh no.
The 16 most powerful vampires in anime. Now, this one's gonna start some fights. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's no way that resolved.
This has the advantage of being from just this last December.
Oh no.
Also from a garbage site. This is from GameRant.
Oh no.
So honestly, this list might have been put together by an AI.
I doubt that, but like it.
I think my understanding is that GameRunt's kind of one of those aggregator sites that mostly just kind of prints off top 10 lists of like whatever's popular.
Oh yeah, but I don't think they're done by AI.
I mean, they do some articles.
Some of it is. I know this is one of those things, especially where you look at like popular games and stuff. It's one of the ones that will churn out like AI printed like aggregates of like top 10 weapons lists and stuff like that. I think most of that is actually just like either AI or somebody who literally doesn't care what they're writing.
I always thought it was someone who doesn't care.
It can be a little bit of both, but it's more often AI than somebody who doesn't know what they're doing.
Also,
on some of these sites
when you're working on those kind of places, they're much more willing to let you get away with just using AI as the main tool for writing your articles, even if you're not calling it AI generated, because then at least they have a human behind it.
Yeah. Because there's the whole editing process.
Because I have done some writing for aggregate sites like that. Problem is, it pays pennies on the $100 bill. Not even pennies on the dollar. You need to write something like 10,000 words to reach minimum wage, and that's in like 10,000 words in like about a week.
Yikes.
Yeah. He is real bad.
Alright. Well, all the same, we can use this as a discussion point while on the topic. Because much like with one of these things I would not take as definitive list, much like anytime I'm looking up, if I'm in a game and I'm trying to get a general feel for like what weapons are good or like might be kind of worth keeping an eye out for, I will Google something like weapons this. I will see a bunch of top 10 articles. I will facepalm and then I will append Reddit to my search and get opinions from actual people. I don't care if they're good opinions. I just want opinions from real people. You know. If I'm like, okay, like I'll always look something like, like interesting weapons, interesting build, whatever, things like that, and append that to that. So, like, you can be like, oh, somebody's like, oh, I really thought playing this way was super fun, and like, it doesn't have to be a good opinion. I can look at that and go, that sounds kind of stupid, but I'd much rather read like real people having a discussion about it than a blogging site's top 10 list any day. Oh man. Yeah, we kind of came a little earlier, but we breezed past them, so I kind of forgot how much I hate these guys.
Yeah, they're kind of annoying.
Yeah, one of these guys is a nightmare. Let alone not one.
Don't get off so easy.
Alright, so uncontested being on this list, I think, is Alucard, Castlevania Alucard. Coming in at number 16 on this list.
Straight up can't jump down at him.
That's weird. Oh wait, I think it's because these guys have this whole, I think they have a whole special property with
No, it wouldn't let me jump down in his direction.
Oh, no.
Your death will not be quick or easy.
I think it's because it kept locking onto him, so when I pressed the right bumper that would normally be the run/jump type parkour mechanic, it's instead switches to dodge counter.
Oh yeah, you're still in combat mode, not parkour mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got bits. Castlevania Alucard, my understanding is pretty strong. Yeah, generally pretty good overall. Castlevania's got fun stuff. Some dude from a series called Strike the Blood.
I know Strike the Blood. I have not watched it or read it, but I have seen people talk about it.
Do you know what it is? Like
barely anything about it. I've just seen people talk about it.
I got one question: is this an isekai?
I don't think so.
It sounds like an isekai at least.
No, it's specifically just I look at this. I see the generic looking screenshot they appended to this article. And the list of powers is familiar summoning, precognition, immortality. And my immediate thought is this some isekai dude?
Like, I don't remember it being
Also, weaknesses, blood dependency. This is an article about vampires. You don't need to say that.
What kind of vampire needs blood? I will say, if I remember correctly, Evangeline Akinci-Medal's technically alive. Like, yes, a vampire. Yes, needs blood.
Yes, no, I believe she's still alive.
It's one of the few times I've seen a living vampire that I didn't mind because she's just evil.
Fair.
She's so evil.
Except when she's not. So
I mean, yeah, but even then she's kind of evil.
It appears to not be a traditional isekai, at least. But this guy was a normal high school student until he suddenly became, you know, this godlike vampire. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. So it's isekai
not-
structure.
yeah, it's not like the whole isekai thing, but it's like it's the whole.
It's an isekai with the serial numbers filed up.
Yeah.
Filed on.
Some dude from a series called Dies Irae.
I've heard that one. That one's based in Germany, from what I know.
That does not surprise me, considering that is a set of German words.
Yes, it is. It's because I remember the game
Also, this guy's name is Wilhelm.
the game that is based off of is actually on Steam. I remember that was
Why I remember seeing seeing the name. At least.
because I remember wishlisting it on Steam, and I was like, "Huh, that's." And I swear I heard someone talking about that as like an anime. And I looked up, it's like, "Yeah, no, it's also an anime." Apparently, it's one of the few times where you actually have a Nazi who's actually very sympathetic, but also the main antagonist.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And apparently they made it work.
I mean, JoJo made it work, so.
Yeah.
Alright, number 13 on this list.
That's all I really know about it.
Some character from Chibi Vampire. Which,
I
you
know
know,
Chibi.
I'll give you credit. That
Yeah.
does sound like it has a vampire in it.
Yeah.
I have my doubts.
Seems more of a comedy show, so, you know. Then we got Bakemonogatari.
Yep.
Shinobu Oshino. Every time I hear, like, Monogatari stuff, like, it always blindsides me because there's so many, like, things going on in there that are very different. So
Yeah.
every time I hear one, I'm confused all over again.
That's fair.
I have no idea what it's about.
Me neither. I know Immortality is involved in some capacity.
Makes sense.
My understanding is, like, the series, like, they're all from, I think they're from the same creator, but they're actually very different, like, styles and genres across them.
Yes,
Okay.
but they have. I think they have some similar characters because they're part of like a similar universe.
Yeah. But yeah, but like in terms
It's
of
just
like,
like
the plot
focus-
style, they're fairly different.
Yeah, because a lot of them are focused on like different aspects within the world. If I remember.
Interesting.
Mina Tepesh, Dance in the Vampire Bug.
That's one of the. That might have been the one I was thinking about earlier.
Well, so I can look it up later.
Dance to the Vampire Bun sounds close.
Then we got the Vampire Knight guy in number 10.
Yeah, okay.
Fair.
He is the best vampire in a show almost exclusively about vampires. Number 9, on to some character Blood Plus.
Blood Plus, okay.
There's stuff like that where you just takes a while to figure out where to go.
Yeah.
That's where the system's a little clumsy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not even bad, just a little clumsy.
You know, I think his problem is being Italian.
Too much plunder in his blood?
Yeah, he's just not built for climbing things. He's meant for jumping from one thing to another thing. You know, he's got the platformer blood.
And the platform shoes.
Yeah. I mean, even with platforming, parkour is involved to an extent.
Yeah. That's why he can kind of do it passively well.
Yeah.
Fair. Alright, number 8 is the guy from Blood Lad, which is above all those other characters because he is from a comedy series. Comedy slice of life. I'm guessing he is very powerful. That one does make sense.
Horrifyingly powerful, I'm sure.
Number 7, Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, okay.
I
know literally
I
nothing
looked
about it.
things up about Tokyo Ghoul and nothing stuck. I don't know a thing about it except that a lot of people like it.
Yeah, I got like halfway through it, I think, but I don't remember why I set it down.
I think it's also split into like 2 parts because I think there's like a sequel series.
Probably. Another seal obtained.
Yeah.
Number 6.
We're halfway up to cosplaying our ancestor.
About that. Oh, that's that manhwa. I've seen Noblesse on.
Oh yeah,
Noblesse Bleach.
Yeah, so I guess it
Yeah.
got an anime at some point. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's one of the few that got an anime.
And so that's who this character is. Number 6. Number 5 is the Rosario Vampire character,
Okay, okay.
which is Mocha. We were correct.
Makes sense. It was the protagonist power up in Rosario plus Vampire. I appreciate it because it's more reasonable than 90% of shonen type power ups.
Especially in a series that's not really
about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It is definitely more of a slice of life, school-like comedy than it is a battle series.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's technically a harem comedy is the original premise.
Yeah, it is originally a harem comedy. Then it stays with the harem comedy tone for, I think, the entirety of it, from what I remember. But, like...
At the very least, there's a vibe of it.
Yeah.
Throughout. Yeah.
Kind of like Sword Art Online.
Fair.
We should definitely find out the truth.
That's also fair. It is. Especially since we are going to be investing ourselves as much as we can in the meta lore of the series by virtue of playing literally all of them, and it seems most wise.
I glide up here just to turn around.
Less most wise, however. Number 4, Vampire Hunter D.
If I can stay my blade long enough to follow
Based on my understanding.
you'll lead me to East Templar Brothers.
Number
I'll
3,
have
some
more names
Vampire
for
from
my list.
Overlord. I never really watched.
I haven't watched it.
I think I watched like the first episode.
I don't think I've watched
I think I watched the first episode more than once on separate attempts to try and watch over, and never got past the first episode.
I
thought it seemed like an interesting premise, but I just never.
Whoops.
Yeah. Never
Oh well. I read a spin-off where he ends up teaming up with this little girl, I think. Instead of taking his guild base with him. I never got very far into it, but I think it was just like a single chapter one-shot type thing.
Fair.
Seemed interesting, but I never got into the original afterwards.
That's fair. Well, it looks like I'm going to be actually pretty okay with the final rankings on this list.
Sure.
Because number 2, Dio Brando.
Okay, yeah.
That is pretty fair because JoJo Vampires get an absolutely wild suite of powers.
Yeah, they do.
Dio especially, because most of what he does isn't even vampire powers, they're Dio powers.
This is mostly in reference to him as the pure vampire in the first part, but like...
Even then, like, his eye lasers are completely unique to him.
Yeah. Precognition, regeneration, freaking eye lasers, the ability to squirt blood out to the point where it basically lasers people, and of course not even mentioning the fact that, oh yeah, he can stop time. You know, I second place is pretty fair.
At least the time stop's not one of his vampire powers.
Yeah, but it is a power he has, and he is a vampire, so I think that either way he's pretty high with them. And of course, number 1, there was really no question. We end the list the same way we started it, with Alucard. But, of course, the Hellsing one this time. No surprise. No shot, absolutely. There has never been a vampire who can vampire more than this guy. You know?
Yeah, I mean, considering his fling with the Queen of England. I'm just saying, blood-sucking queen of a blood-sucking empire teams up with a vampire. The story writes itself.
Yep.
You know what I want to see? You know, an interaction I'd absolutely love to see. It's Hellsing Alucard just chilling with Liz in Fate. not Carmilla, Liz specifically.
Oh shit, the body fell.
Carmilla is allowed to be involved in the event, but it has to be an actual Liz.
Oh good, he's not that suspicious.
Oh, I'm sure he just fell.
He tripped.
He tripped and fell and, like, hit a piece of metal on the way down.
That explains the stab wound.
Yeah.
Doesn't he... Is this the mission where he walks all the way back to his own villa or something? I feel like there's one mission where you follow them across the entire city and that's where it ends.
Could be.
It might be this one.
I really hope it's not.
This is our just reward in trusting our...
Climb the ladder. That's not climbing the ladder.
Why are you like this?
That's just not happening. Sorry. Bad opinion.
What, Ezio climbing ladders?
Well, that too.
But since I got to the bottom of the list, I got all these. Oh, check out these other ads, the other articles, things. So it's not 6 White Simpsons.
Your
could
letter
end.
mentioned Venezia.
It's not going to.
Are there Templars there as well?
No, I mean,
There's one way it ends, and that's if it stops making money.
Yeah.
They are going to choke the life out of that horse corpse a little further first.
same with South Park, Family
They're beating
Guy.
that dead horse with another dead horse at this point.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing with Family Guy, South Park. What's it? King of the Hill. Is King of the Hill still going on?
Maybe?
Pretty sure it's still going on.
Oh.
I don't know anything about King of the Hill
Me
except
neither.
for the main character's accent and like 2 specific jokes.
That's fair, yeah.
The number one thing is just the propane and propane accessories bit. I think Pocket Sand is also King of the Hill.
It
I
is.
think that's it. Those are the only.
I will say the absolute funniest joke
Just that and the way he says Bobby.
from
That's
King
all.
of the Hill is when he's got a bottle of, what is it, that spray stuff to loosen metal, like spray grease stuff?
The like WD-40 or something.
Yeah, WD-40. He's got that, and it's a little rusty on the lid, so he pulls out a second smaller vial and sprays the WD-40 can.
That's pretty good.
It's so hilarious.
That is pretty good.
Genuinely, one of the funniest things I have honestly ever seen. It's just a good joke.
Have I seen that man?
You don't see anything?
Having this odd feeling about that.
Absolutely incredible.
I'm just
Isn't that?
that good at stealth.
How many men are responsible for my father's death?
Isn't that this odd
There's
feeling?
this guy in the
Damn, I
wall
don't see
behind you.
him.
Oh yeah.
There we
I
go.
guess that works.
I'm sorry,
Once you get
my
close
son.
enough, they realize it's not in their
Oh my
area they're
God.
guarding, so.
But the assassin,
Hey, it's the suspicious guy. Wearing
Clearly.
hood.
As the others would be here with you.
You've seen him before.
Say nothing of the fact that
Probably
Florence
so.
remains
No.
in Medici hands.
It's Francesco's fault. His
Got
impatience
the
made him
exact
reckless.
same hood as that dude from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I tried to be the voice of reason.
More like the voice of cowardice.
You're one to talk, Signor Barbarigo. Had you sent us quality weapons instead of this garbage you Venetians call armament?
We put our faith in your family, and you repay us with inaction and incompetence? Then when asked to account for your failures, you make excuses and insult us? How do you expect me to respond?
I don't know.
With murder mostly.
It's all right.
I mean, you're a guy that already murders every.
Yep, there you go.
Oh,
There you go.
Ah,
Yep.
He already
Come
murders
on.
his enemies freely. Wouldn't surprise me. He murders his allies freely.
Hey, that was Ezio's job.
Please don't what?
Good old murder neck.
That's the power of a cutscene.
I can fix this.
I don't think anything they could do could possibly spare you at this point, my guy.
Yeah.
No.
Only God can spare you now. That's pretty much the opposite of spare.
Mess.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
sorry to
spare them
have
up the
claimed
fact
your
of that.
prize, assassin.
How'd they see me coming?
Did you honestly think I wouldn't expect you to follow? That I didn't plan for it? We've been at this a lot longer than you. Kill him.
I know you're only doing as you're told. So if you release me, I will spare your lives. Ha! Listen!
No one ever predicts an assassin to use assassin weapons.
That's a lot of cats.
Eh, it'll be fine.
You have to remember, this is just a bunch of bronze ranked saber enemies and then a silver ranked berserker enemy against a 5-star servant.
That's true.
A single silver ranked shadow servant.
Wait, so if this is the Fate timeline, does that mean this is also the not safe for work timeline?
Yes.
I mean,
That's why there's a bunch of blood.
it's simple. Just think about how this Assassin's Creed universe is constructed, ask yourself, does Fate Attila fit into this?
Yes.
100%.
And the answer is yeah.
No question.
Like 100%.
The answer is no shot, absolutely.
I love Altera. Altera's great.
Yeah.
It's silly that she's Attila the Hun, but like I love Altera.
Also, her actual like storyline in her base game,
Yeah.
just really good.
It is.
That guy wasn't already dead?
No.
That was like 60
was
seconds.
one
of
heart
bleeding out of his throat.
And one neck.
Fratelli e paure.
People survive one heart and one neck wound all the time.
No, what? It was more of a stomach.
It was like right here.
No, it was more down here.
No, it was up here. Wasn't it?
It was like right through his throat.
No,
No,
that's the
like-
first one.
Okay.
The first
So
one
the
looks
first one.
The first stab was
The
like
first one was
right,
like right in the chest somewhere. I don't know where it was.
like rib cage or higher at minimum.
Still don't think it would hit the heart, but
Kind of disappointed that two of those guards got away. Also, this game is so much easier when the controls are like mapped in anywhere close to correctly.
I thought we were going to keep with the bed and keep in the dark.
I mean, we probably would have, but it finally mapped correctly. Do you know how awesome it is to have a working camera?
No, right?
I mean, I did mention the camera part early on.
Yeah.
After you talked about being able to move up and down.
Like, I can see enemies when they're moving around.
Yeah, that's true.
That is handy.
And I can also parkour way easier when I can look at where I'm going.
I can see. It's
Like,
so beautiful.
you have no idea how much that improves the general gameplay.
No, that's very true. I agree. Hi. My name's Ezio.
I'm an assassin. Glad to be here at Assassins Anonymous.
The Pazzi are dead. Every one of them.
I must admit, I've never before believed I could desire the death of others so badly.
Nor I.
Ezio, thank you for the role you've played in keeping this dream of mine alive a little longer.
L'onore è mio, signore.
What will you do now, Figliolo?
There are still others I must hunt, signore. They are already digging their claws into the heart of Venezia.
No. La Bella Venezia. Then that is where your
Poor
journey must take
Lorenzo.
you, Ezio. Before you leave us, I have something for you. A gift. This cape identifies you as a friend of the Medici. As long as you wear it, the city guards will be more tolerant of your actions. But be warned, it will not grant you immunity from the law.
As it should.
Man, not total
E la
immunity. What
fortuna
kind of friend
favorisca
are
la
you?
tua lama.
A wealthy one, but not that wealthy. I say about the Medici of all people.
Yeah, we find the Medici.
Finally, it matches my outfit.
Permanently anonymous to Medici guards. Fair enough. Pretty. Man, nepotism working in our favor for once.
Okay. Aww.
Just kill a random.
I was trying to get Lorenzo, but it doesn't seem to want me to assassinate my friend Lorenzo.
Yeah, probably.
My good friend Lorenzo.
It's him! Stop!
Wow, this is helpful, Lorenzo.
Absolutely bonkers. Stuff they let you get away with.
You have to climb the Medici cave.
Okay, I guess I'll just head back over there.
Yeah. Maybe.
Come, friends! I've fresh company!
Huh.
Have you lost your mind? Be gone from here, Shemo.
Did Lorenzo break the game again?
He really doesn't like the Animus. I'm starting to think he has a piece of Eden in his blood.
Wait a minute. What if he's secretly the behind all of this? The man behind the slaughter.
Nah.
It would fit the Medici. But it seems unlikely.
Especially in this time.
If you insist.
I just realized the only servant who could reasonably counter Gilgamesh would probably be Lorenzo Medici. He's the only one with the wealth to actually challenge him.
That's true.
He has the wealth and the legend behind him.
Okay, what about the what if you have like a servant
Leonardo!
King Midas?
Yeah, that's true.
Mi dispiace, messer, but he is gone.
I feel like
Maestro
depending on
Leonardo
how
was
it's designed,
commissioned by
that could be
Venetian
a
noble to
counterpart.
paint some
He could
portraits.
literally be budget
He paid for the
Gilgamesh.
I feel like King Midas would specifically have a reality marble that,
Grazie
in
mille.
the similar way that Unlimited Blade Works counters Noble Phantasms, King Midas would just counter the sheer wealth behind the Noble Phantasms and thus making him cheap by turning him into gold. He'd depreciate the value of Gilgamesh's armory.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you very easily, however, could construct like a version that like
Hey,
basically brings to life golden statues of other heroes that he turned us, to gold.
Yeah.
Like, you could construct a version that is
He'd be way more terrifying in a Lost Belt or a Singularity than in a Grail War.
that's probably. But yeah, I definitely feel like you could do something wacky.
Oh, what was it? Lost Belt 4? That was the China one?
No, 3.
3.
Lost Belt 3 Sin, which is
Drop him into Lost Belt 3.
one of my. It's actually a little hard to say because my opinions are much closer in most of the Lost Belts than in the older Singularities. Like in the Singularities, like I did like 6 and 7 both quite a lot, and all that jazz. But like, there was a lot of even the other ones that were fun were a little bit more okay. Because the story hadn't really kind of come into its own yet in most of those early parts.
One of my favorite things about Assassin's Creed games, at least compared to a lot of others, I actually feel like I learn the areas I go to in these games.
Yeah.
Like, that ladder. I knew that ladder was there. I was going for it. It is very rare I would do that in any game.
Yeah, there's something to be said for kind of the navigable.
I'm usually pretty good about navigating.
Oh, I have a terrible head for it most of the time. Assassin's Creed, though. It just grokks.
That's fair.
Don't worry, guys. I know how to get us to the. I know how to get us to the. What is it?
I know how to navigate Rome. I did it in a video game once.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't worry, guys. I know a shortcut. Navigates through streets of Rome that I have literally never been to in my life.
Oh, I just played a lot of Assassin's Creed.
It's to a lot of people that feels exactly as credible as it was revealed to me in a dream.
Yeah.
At least that gets cited in scientific papers on occasion.
Yeah. God. But yeah, just.
Yeah, because sometimes you come up with great ideas.
No, it's genuinely reasonable.
Yeah.
Not the original example, though, I don't think.
Of the Lost World series, one was good, 2 is not my favorite.
Let's see, 1 was Russia, right?
Yeah, 1 was Russia.
What was 2?
Yaga. 2 was the Scotty one.
Yeah, Scandinavia, Norse mythology.
I think I literally skipped all of Lost Belt 2's cutscenes. I have no idea what the plot for that one is.
Yeah, well, there are parts that are good about it. Some of its antagonistic stuff is good, but it's one of the ones that's kind of a little bit weird on the writing side. Based on like all available signs, it seems to be the guy who did Agartha and the Aprilia events and some other stuff like that. And he's not necessarily bad. There was one thing he did more recently that was actually really, really stellar. And it seems like the solution is basically if you give him a kind of smaller scale event to work within, he can be really fantastic. But you let him do the whole thing, and it kind of isn't.
It just kind of loses. He loses the thread.
Yeah, which is kind of where you get stuff like Agartha, which is kind of like famously kind of like weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And 2 is kind of the same thing where like you have like kind of this one like recurring motif that didn't really feel very deep, but like that was the driving thing between like every single time Scotty shows up, this is like her, core line, and every single thing she's doing is. Those parts were not great. There were some other stuff that was okay, but it just kind of did not hit the way the other ones did.
That's a pity.
3 I really, really like because of its kind of humanistic themes. 3 and 4, like obviously all of the Lost Belts are kind of about what makes us human in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what's humanity when they've fallen off the edge of the timeline?
Yeah. And it's kind of like, what do you still have and what have you lost?
Leonardo! Ezio?
What is
luck? I ever run
and it's
into
kind
a
of
bit
seeing
of
what
trouble.
makes them the same, what makes them different.
Let me see if I can help. I know how to fix it, but lack the means to do so. If you could just
and it was
lift
kind of
the
there
wagon.
because 3, that is the Chinese one. And,
What
very
is this
much,
thing,
okay,
eh?
that is the.
It looks like a giant
you
bat.
traded
Oh,
freedom for
nothing.
safety.
Just an idea I've been working on.
Well,
I could not
actually,
leave it
traded
behind.
freedom for safety is like 3 of the Lost
What is it
Belts,
for?
but-
Well, I shouldn't really
they
talk
do it in
about
different ways.
Yeah.
Al diavolo. I
But
can't
that one
hold
has
it
some really
in
excellent
anymore.
stuff, including
Ezio,
the only
I
time I've
think
ever
I figured
liked
out
Fate
how
Spartacus.
to make a man fly.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Spartacus
Come on, I'll drive.
being
But I haven't
one
even
of
told you where I'm
the
going.
characters in history and mythology that I really like, Fate does him so dirty.
Yeah. He's kind of like. It's interesting because, like.
Forgot about the driving missions in this game.
If you look at something like Apocrypha, where he comes from, he's.
Venezia, such a beautiful
I wouldn't say
city.
he's
So
like
many
he's
sources of
like
inspiration.
he's a bit piece in it because he gets taken out of it and he comes back like
What's
for
wrong?
one scene.
We're
later,
not
you know?
alone.
It feels like if it was like the original visual novel,
What's
there'd be a
happening? Who are
timeline where
they?
Spartacus
Rodrigo
decided to take
Borges,
bad or
man.
did good.
Why? What do you want with us?
But yeah, it's just it's just in
think they
this
want us
timeline
dead.
he gets murked
No,
early, and that shit does happen. Somebody has to bite the dust. That's fine, but the fact is they kind of went from what he did there, and he just kind of became basically a gag character.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind that he dies early on in that one. Yeah.
Ezio, someone's on top! The sharp turns to make the carriage roll! Watch out! Don't let the carriage roll over!
I killed Da Vinci.
When you got a guy on the side, okay, I think you want to crash into the cliff.
You do, but you can also shake him off.
Gotcha. I don't remember anything about this part really.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, from after the brief appearance there, they kind of take his design and kind of roll it to kind of make him a joke character, which I don't like. It's not necessarily a problem, but it is.
He's used pretty much exactly how I would imagine they would use him in Apocrypha. I feel like he needs a storyline where he actually is allowed to be intelligent the way the other berserkers are, and it feels like he doesn't really ever get that chance.
Yeah, that's fair. They do make use of some of his best elements, at least in his. He is only there for a short while in Lost Belt 3, but he does he's just hits harder than he ever has in that bit.
Yeah, I haven't done any of his character unique stuff in Grand Order. Is any of that good?
Don't remember.
I don't remember.
I'm sure he probably has at least.
He hasn't interlude, yeah.
I mean, he's got an interlude, and he's got I think a rank up.
The rank-ups don't have story.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for the interlude, it was a long
I think he had an early game. Yeah, early game interlude where it's not as definitely a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like there's usually they're like okay character stuff, but they really just the interludes get much better in the look at.
Oh, 100%.
Past like year 2.
Yeah. Like, Shootin's right before the, Snake Saber lady dropped? Yeah, Wookie, thank you. Right before Wookie dropped, Shootin got an interlude where you have to fight Wookie. And it was really well done. Like, I think the right decision to be like, at the end of it, the right command prompt, or conversation prompt is, yeah, of course, Shootin, I'll cut off your head if you end up getting possessed like that again. I'm not a jerk. It's something like that, and it really fits Shootin's character.
Well, that guy just disappeared. Yeah, he did.
And if you saw the wagon was about to go over a open fire, you'd probably teleport out of existence too.
But yeah, later ones definitely get really good overall. But like, whenever I get whenever I get a new character that actually feel like really new, and then you can definitely tell the difference. Yeah, and I think Spartacus, I think it only looks very good. Really good. I feel like there's stuff that we do more than better. Could just not be great. But at the very least, this is one of the things I've liked about the Lost World. Most every Lost World has had a couple of like lower, not very frequently used characters that get at least a little bit of kind of shine. Avisa Braun coming back in Lost World in a big way. Oh yeah, and he actually gets a fantastic kind of arc there, which I really appreciate.
Do something.
At least we got a checkpoint.
Yep. Yeah.
I hate the car missions in Assassin's Creed 2.
You know, I'm really regretting wishing for the Da Vinci Mobile. Not that last play section. The finger on the monkey's paw curls.
No, you monster! How could you do this to us? We would have fucked around in Florence the entire time otherwise. Seriously, these guys have amazing abilities too.
Yeah, they have very good balance.
You have to give these people credit.
They're tenacious.
Yeah, they're up there with assassins.
So we had that. We had a bunch of really good stuff. I really like
You're almost there.
do all of it. And Unlock Lost World makes one of those things. As one that actually exists still. For a couple of things, which includes the fact that unlike a lot of the other ones, you know, they don't have their own. They have very few different.
Not you.
Right. It's kind of one of the big things. We don't have very many servants from those timelines because of the fact that they are failed humanity. You know, humanity doesn't have very many heroes in those worlds. You know, and it's kind of a big thing. You know, like the only one that's like actually, you know, relevant in like the Russian one, for example, is Ivan. That's it.
That's
terrible. This world's Ivan is the only one. Even Anastasia is technically the Pantheon history one, who has just decided to ally with this and be treated as a queen, but she wasn't the actual leader.
Well, she's also the serpent summoned by the.
Yeah, I know. I was saying, like, you know, she's allied with them and she's kind of connected to it because of that, but like she's not from that timeline either, because they stopped having human heroes after Ivan. You know, and some of those ones are like this, but I think 3 is a little interesting because like they do still have a few. You know, despite not allowing, like, you know, reading all the stuff, there are a few. There's like, you know, they've got like 4 or 5 like good heroes. It's implied there's actually a lot of them. you know, because a lot of the ones from that period of China stuff still do exist, but they're cryogenically kept in storage in case humanity needs them.
Yeah.
All of the living human heroes, they are essentially creating their own, you know, heroic spirits in a can.
Yeah, they have their own holy grail.
They have a giant mountain with refrigeration units for all of the actual living heroes of China to be put in and pulled out if China needs them.
It is genuinely
Which
one of
is
the coolest
really interesting.
Lost Belt thing.
You know, like you could
anything.
You could set an adventure just in that world in a way that I feel like you couldn't in most of the others.
Yeah. I feel like early on in the India Lost Belt, you could probably do something interesting. Early on, when each not Kalpa, each era is actually like has any length.
Yeah.
Basically, before Chaldea arrives.
Yeah, yeah. If you were there like before the decay of everything.
Yeah, before Arjuna actually decided to shorten everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, of like all of them, I think that would be my favorite one to set something in. Broadly speaking, yeah, it feels like it has a little more. It feels like it's less far from the fate of humanity than the other ones, you know. In its way, it's like it's still a failed timeline as far as cosmologically.
It feels like it actually ended in a golden age.
Yeah,
if not necessarily a good one.
It's like
for
the
us.
fourth one, like obviously, like you know, that one. While I love that one as a story, for a lot of reasons, you know, like it's just not a world that it's a world that is literally spiraling to the end, you know. There is nowhere for it to go. You know, I really like the way the graphic of how the wheel spinning like literally spins off its axis.
Yeah,
at the end, you know.
That's a good.
It's a good bit. Five is also interesting in its own way. It's Olympus and Atlantis.
Yeah.
Five is really interesting as an alternate universe, but not really as one for stuff to happen in for the same reason, because there are no more heroes because of the fact that, you know, humanity is still overseen by the gods. You know, the humans like literally live forever.
No, until the Hun.
Still nothing happens. You know. Though of course, as a story, I loved Atlantis. I liked Atlantis already. Atlantis felt very classic, granted to me. You know, like it had its twist, it had its betrayals, and then, you know, its big, you know, story moments and everything, but it felt kind of still a little bit like, outside of those few key moments, it felt kind of more like being back in like the America Singularity, or just road tripping around the sea, visiting all the islands, seeing the cool stuff with a gang, you know? It felt like a very classic adventure in a lot of ways, which I did like, you know, it was good. Just looting the money boat.
Over here.
Well, if they're not visible to my eagle vision, they're probably not real.
That's true.
Here. Over here.
Oh, I bet it's it's the very end of the pier, where the story marker is.
Oh, I guess we might actually be close enough for that, yeah.
Because it's like 70 feet away or whatever, so I bet it's like just very edge there.
Get the feather.
Yeah.
Wow, with how hard that was vibrating, I thought Ezio was drowning.
Maybe he was. If you ever so much just look at my friends again, I'll drown you on dry land.
What the fuck?
Hashtag just skinner. But yeah, like Olympus was really, really excellent. I loved it.
Yeah, I
thought it was a very different vibe from some of the ones too.
still need to kill Arjuna in Lost Belt 4.
Fair.
Look, I haven't picked up that game since like December 1st when I decided I was going to get back into it for the month of gifts in December, and then just didn't.
That's very understandable.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The problem for me with Grand Order is the problem I have with pretty much anything visual novel based. I can't move during cutscenes. I can only click through the dialogue.
Here.
So my brain refuses to focus on it very well.
One of the reasons why there will be long stretches where it might build up like huge amounts of like content that I'm just not reading it right now. I'm just not in the mood. So I usually wait until I am in the mood or have some other pressing need to catch up on stuff.
There.
Thank you, Ezio. You saved
Yeah,
my
like,
life.
and it's weird because
What
it's not
had
like
to be
it's,
done?
I have a problem reading
Would have
way
done the
too
same.
much dialogue. Like I've 100%ed Morrowind
Bravery is
before,
not
and
my
I'm
strong
doing it
suit.
again now.
I owe you a debt, brother.
I'm sorry for your
Niente.
soul.
Tutti a bordo! Fra
Look,
poco si
it's been
Sorry for
salva!
Vivek.
at least
forget
10 years since I
Venezia
turned
wins.
Vivek into a left-handed glove.
Where's your pass?
What pass?
Pass.
Huh?
You
Maybe
don't
I
have
should
a
actually
pass?
enchant him into
You
something
cannot
useful.
enter Venezia without a
So I
pass.
normally enchant
Who
him just so I
invited
can
you?
wear the boots of blinding speed, but it's kind of a waste of the soul of a god.
Basta! No pass, no entrance!
Ooh, I
Don't
could turn
worry,
him and
Leonardo.
Almalexia
I'll come up with something.
each into one of my gloves. And then wield Almalexia's
Don't just
sword with
stand
her
there.
glove, and then
I
wield
need help.
my past life sword with Vivek's glove. The game doesn't have dual wielding, but when does that stop?
Yep. Yeah, Bo, it's time for the Venice.
I guess stealing all the boats. Oh wait, no, they're still there. I was gonna say, I guess robbing all the boats might have had them, pulling away, but apparently not. Is she?
Yeah, I think you can't have to leave the dock area, but...
Qualcuno mi aiuti! Aiuto!
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, for me personally, it does really feel like one was solid, 2 was not as great, but like 3 onward have all been really good in totally different ways.
Okay, favors of the main singularities.
Madonna.
I think I gotta give it up for
The ladies must
Camelot.
like you.
Personally.
Why Camelot?
It's hard to decide sometimes between Camelot and Babylonia. Both are quite
Want to help
excellent.
someone in distress.
Which is
but
exactly
for
why
me,
you
I think part of it just has to do with my feelings about Fate as a whole.
Auditore.
Okay.
Because
But
Camelot
please, Ezio.
really strikes hard
I'm
at
Caterina.
a lot of what makes
Now,
Fate work
Ezio.
normally, I think.
We must find you
Not just,
suitable
in
reward.
addition to having the round table
Do you
and all that
have
stuff
any
going on there.
suggestions?
So that
There
is
is
part of it.
perhaps something you could help me with.
Fighting through the nights, having all of
I'm
these
all
like
ears.
duels with all
Can
these
you give me to Venice?
yeah, having all these duels with the souped up knights, culminating in finding out why Camelot is like it is, exploring kind of the weird 3-way war going on here.
Turn.
All kind of culminating in your final assault where all of the pieces come back
I guess
together.
we're turning this way.
Yeah, where all the pieces come together, and then finally, you do 1v1. The closest thing you fought to the original Saber, in the whole story arc at that point. And I think it works really well.
Fair, yeah.
It doesn't stand out the way certain bits of some of the other ones do.
Okay.
But I think it's
Okay,
just
better
really
question.
consistently enjoyable, and it's just something that never really.
If they had all been at the same quality as Camelot or Babylon, which singularity do you think you would have loved the most?
Like, just in terms of, the concept of the singularity and stuff, basically?
The general plot, the concept. Which, if it was fully realized, you think you would have been going, that was amazing?
Yes, Signora.
All right,
Whatever you say,
I'm tempted
Signora.
to say, though this might be slightly based on some biased, external
He won't trouble you
sources,
anymore.
it might have been,
I
it might have been
care.
Rome.
Thank you, Caterina.
Perhaps we'll see
Because,
together
look,
Should you ever
Assassin
find yourself
Brutus
in
really
Stockholm?
changed my opinion about a lot of
Be
things.
mine.
Matt, at
again.
Tobruk,
Pleasure to welcome
that was real good.
I look forward to enjoying your hospitality.
But it's hard to say since that's such a radical departure from what we do see in the Rome Singularity. Basically, the Rome
accept
Singularity
my
I think
most
could have been
humble apologies,
really,
Monsieur.
really excellent.
Yeah.
Based on some of the premises there.
Quite all right,
Similarly,
my friend.
I just love, like, man, I need to get this pass in order to get on this ship. What am I going to do? Conveniently, this one woman is stranded somewhere.
Be careful,
Yeah.
Ezio. Do you
Very
know
helpful.
what that was?
Similarly,
My next
though,
conquest. I don't
I
think
liked
so, Ezio.
the
That's
vibes of
Caterina
London
Sforza,
a lot.
daughter of
London was
Duke
kind of the
Leonardo.
one I was
Her
thinking you'd
husband
pick,
is-
to be honest.
Husband, see, her husband is
the
the
Rome
Lord
one,
of
like,
Forli.
the
That
Rome one
woman
feels
is
so
as
far from me. I
powerful
feel
and
it's hard to
dangerous
fully
as
like
she is
envision
young
where it
and
falls
Yeah.
in that. But like,
Sempre come una
Rome's
donna
cool,
per
you
me.
know? It could be really actually done. But I think the other thing is London feels it's kind of got a different vibe from some of the others because you got such a small, tight knit team.
You know, it's like you like Jekyll, friend, Mordred.
It feels like a Sherlock Holmes novel.
Yeah, going out and solving your things, dealing with the mist, you know, and all this stuff. There's a lot.
There we go.
Better than all
Freedom.
that. You're making amazing progress.
Yeah, so there's a ton of stuff that I really like. And
Then why are we stopping?
Prolonged exposure to the
fully
animus
juiced up
can
London.
have
Yeah, the is really excellent.
side effects.
Similarly, while I only
It's nothing to
enjoyed
worry
parts of
about.
it and didn't
You
like
haven't
most
shown
of the rest
any
that
of the
much in,
symptoms.
Okeanos.
Symptoms? What
Sure.
symptoms?
Degradation of cognition,
honestly, I
temporal
think I'd
Having
hallucinations,
played Atlantis,
multiple
I
awareness
think, man,
issues,
they could have
overlapping
really gone
realities.
sicko mode
So
with Okeanos.
what you're
Yeah, I think
saying
I'd
is...
go to
What
London.
we're saying,
London would be
is
the
if
one
you're
I
not
would
careful,
want to see.
you may not
Really.
need
That
the
might be my
animus to
ultimate
visit with your
pick.
ancestors, which wouldn't be a bad thing, assuming you could control it. Up
Especially
until now,
since it
though,
feels like they could have had
no
an
one
echo
has.
into Camelot a lot better.
Subject 16.
We have safeguards, Desmond. And they kept him in the Animus for way too long, sometimes days at a time.
Now,
We're being careful with you.
I hope so.
we gotta
Anyway,
get into the tricky
I was hoping we could
questions
test out
about
your
this
skill
stuff
retention.
Okay.
See if
here.
you
Every
picked up some
my
of
final
Ezio's
note about the Lost
abilities.
I'm game.
6
Great.
was fantastic.
Meet me downstairs when you're
Alright.
ready.
Fair. That one was huge. That was very life changing in some ways. But it's hard to say how much it stacks up to some of the others because they're all different things. But so we've talked about a bit core singularities. I've talked a little bit about the Lost Belts.
What could
I think
16
maybe
have found that
we'll
needs so
finish
much
that stuff.
secrecy and
Yeah,
security?
talk about those fairly.
Well, I don't know, do
But
I? Lucy
what
thinks
about,
it's something about
first
the
off,
codex.
the pseudo-singularities. What are your
Not so
opinions on
sure.
those?
I'm all
Did
ears
you-
if
did
it's
you
as
ever do those?
life-changing as
I did,
16 says. Blimey, if I was allowed to use the animus, I'd be the one in there finding out.
Abigail's.
Instead,
So
as
the
usual,
only reason I
just
ended up
sit
doing
here
Abigail's
on
is
the
because I did a
sidelines.
random 10 drop right on her first banner and got her immediately.
Okay, well the good news is you can stop there because those were the best
What
ones.
are you up to?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Who are you, my mum? I've been
No,
running
I think-
traces
I-
on the
I-
codex
I actually
pages,
really did like Shinjuku.
looking to see if any of them are still
Overall,
around.
it was not as strong as
Nothing
the others. I think
concrete.
Shinjuku,
Reports
the value of
of
Shinjuku
one in the
for me was
archives of the
carried
National
particularly,
Central
like,
Library
there's
in
like two really
Florence.
good bits in the
Maybe
middle,
a few
and
in the hands of
fantastic
collectors.
conclusion.
Fair.
Probably
What do you
Templars.
mean? That's enough for some to
Send
stick.
someone to check it out, but we're
You know?
very short on manpower.
How do you
Doesn't
think
need to
the
reach
codex
full
wound up
potential
in
to be
Italy?
enjoyable.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
like
it
one
seems
part,
so
like you have a
random.
bit where you
Dante
infiltrate a
Alighieri
party
by way of Marco
to
Polo.
track down
Seriously?
Yanking.
Something happened in
so you're
1321.
taking us to that point.
Yeah? Now I'm still
And
working
the
on
really
making the
funny thing
connections, but
is,
from what I can tell,
specifically, you
Polo
go-
encountered
you
the
go dressed up as a
assassins
girl to,
while
like, dance
visiting
with, like, you know,
Kubla Khan.
saber and like a suit or
That's
something.
right. This must be when he
Regardless
obtained the
of your
codex.
actual
Yeah.
Now,
It's like,
when he
hey,
returned
you
to
put on your
Italy,
nice dress.
he
Oh,
passed it
you
on
process
to
it together,
Dante.
you know, very-
Dante
very
was
fun
close
bit.
to him, if not an assassin himself. Now, I've no idea what brought the two of them
Lobo's
together.
good. It's Singularity.
But I'll tell you
Moriarty's a
what.
lot of fun.
I reckon we could find out.
I don't think Lucy wants us
Well,
messing
everything
with the
definitely is like
animus.
with that one is the fact that like it's
You're
kind
right.
of built on
We've got enough to deal with.
this thing where like, oh
Satisfying
yeah,
my
they
curiosity.
they're
Was
using
that
like
like just canon Marco Polo knew the assassins?
Mhm.
I love the way they interweave various tiny bits of history into. Okay, I knew that. What? It's really fun.
Yeah, good stuff.
From what I've heard, that a lot of that, the minor stuff drops off a little bit after, pretty much in the post-Desmond games.
Yeah, that probably makes sense because they don't really talk as much about the history of assassins when you're in the history.
Yeah.
Like it's there, but it's not as prominent as what you can learn by way of databases, present-day conversations from people who know all of it.
So what's the plan?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see what you've managed to retain.
Shinjuku is basically built on this thing where they're summoning, like, you know,
Come on.
phantasmal fractional servants, whatever. I don't know the actual name of it right now. But it's like, oh yeah, people who had like stories enough
Abstergo's
to
out
make an
there,
impact, but
looking
not
for
enough to be
us.
full servants.
They're better
Lobo,
funded
yeah,
and better
yeah.
equipped.
I know what you're referring
So it's
to.
only
Right,
a matter
which
of
is kind
time
of what
before they
technically
find this
Hessian Lobo
place.
is like two of those.
We need
smashed
to be
together.
ready for them when they do.
It's like, oh yes, yeah.
I want you to
that.
activate the warehouse's
Yeah, like the
defense
Hessian
system.
wolf and the
I'll
headless
let you
horseman.
figure out
Yeah,
how to reach the
two.
sensors.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, like, it's like the
Can I give it a
Hessian
hint?
soldier and like, you know,
Open your eyes, Desmond.
King Wolf or whatever. You know, it's like two like minor legends.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it makes some interesting use of those where it's like, okay, you know, that's a thing they're kind of manufacturing and like individually summoning the smaller ones.
Lucy? I'm seeing things.
Do the hallucinations last longer than 30 seconds?
No.
Then it's nothing to be worried about. It'll happen.
Well, that's reassuring.
Thank you. But yeah, so it's a thing where they keep summoning those and like juicing up like, you know, enemies with them and stuff. The antagonist. And particularly that's why Moriarty is like that. Because baseline Moriarty, in theory, should have been more like a caster. You know, and kind of been more like, you know, Sherlock Holmes-y type where he's the antagonist, like, just the regular character. but his master plan involved him grafting on a.
That's why Desmond does that. Unlike Ezio, they've refined the bloodline enough he doesn't take fall damage.
That's true.
Fair.
So that's why he likes jumping off the sides of the building. It's not just me.
But yeah, yes, they keep so many of these minor things, and that's why he's got like the weird coffin gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gives himself a magic bullet skill that allows him to perfectly hit any target by grafting on like a minor legend. It's like, okay, you know, they do some neat stuff with it.
It just sounds like Imperial privilege with extra steps and less arrogance.
Yeah, because that was all part of his major plan. But also, the thing that makes this really work is that it really comes back in a big way with the big conclusion, which is, you know, like, you know, you're fighting Moriarty, right? Like, there's one thing that defeats Moriarty, and that's a detective.
How am I doing?
There's a ladder.
You've picked up every
You know?
single one of Ezio's skills.
But you don't
think
have
a lot-
to.
I
The
think a lot of
adoption
stuff
rate
here.
is fantastic.
I
Another
really
day
hope
or
it
two,
did.
we'll be done.
Huh.
Probably fine.
I think it's been longer than 30 seconds now.
Well, I mean, no single one lasted longer than 30
All right, you
seconds.
gotta
so
tell
it's
me,
probably good.
why Ezio? Why Italy? I mean, we could have just gone back to Altair again. Followed him during his early years.
It started with 16.
Ah, good old Subject 16. He repainted my room, you know. With his blood.
I'd been going through his files.
It's easy for you to assess if this Desmond is where you're not playing this in for a long chunk of time.
Yeah, honestly, Desmond really grew on me over the course of the first couple games.
Saying
Towards the end,
I
he
wonder if
became
that's
obsessed
what happens
with
in
Italy.
Origins.
I think he
Or I
knew
wonder if
about the
that's-
vault.
Was supposed to be that time period.
A few of the records of his later Animus sessions are missing. And the
Good
sessions
question.
that are there...
Yeah, maybe.
After
No
everything
idea.
the Templars put him through,
Huh.
after everything I put him through, it's all scrambled. If we hadn't pushed 16 so hard, we'd have the answers already. And maybe he'd still be alive.
Now,
So you're after the Codex and the Vault.
I knew you had an
Shimosa,
ancestor in Italy
Garfield
who was
was
at the center of all
in
of this.
Shimosa, fantastic. Salem, also incredibly fantastic, but like in a totally different way. The vibes of the Salem Singularity are.
All right, I think we're done for the day.
It doesn't
We should
feel
get
like a
some
big
rest.
story anymore.
Lucy, what
but
happened to
it's still
16
good.
wasn't your fault. You were
You
just as
know?
much a prisoner
No,
as I
that's
was.
fair. That's a good way to describe it.
It's like it's
Thanks.
just it's so mundane
Good night, Desmond.
in its events compared to
Yeah, it feels like
I'm glad you're here.
the other
it's like
side.
Gotham.
It honestly feels like something I would expect to see in like Melty Blood.
Yeah, it's
Not directly, but like it feels like it's from that side of the multiverse.
yeah. The fact that freaking like one of your servants who are like godlike monster killing things executed by hanging. Like it just happens.
Okay, this one might last longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah, probably. I think we're fine.
What's supposed to be Altair?
No,
I think.
I think I know who that is. but
Yeah.
it's not
Cool.
Altair. Plus, we were mostly seeing Crusaders among them.
There's Altair.
What is this? Where am I? It's... That must be his target. I must have passed out. Just having some kind of weird dream. Going without sleep for who knows how long.
Kind of forgot
Guess
about
I
this
shouldn't
part
be
entirely, to be
surprised.
honest.
This part I remember.
It shows how long it's been since I played this game.
Good, good. They don't let you do that.
Congratulations,
I was worried.
you played yourself.
Okay, that's just cheating.
Wow, that guy just absolutely did not care.
No, she did not. There. On left. Okay.
How dare you push me off the left that one time? It was funny.
How dare you not make me jump off of your back?
What? We were having a little fun.
I used your spine as a sounding board.
I blame Desmond for that one.
Get out here.
Yeah, this is probably fine. What you gonna? Right in front of me. Why did I not think to check that direction?
While going over these things, I also completely forgot that Seraph is a pseudo-singularity. They just pretend it isn't.
Yep.
Seraph is also really good.
Oh yeah, I love Seraph. Also,
it's one of those things where like, it's mostly okay until you hit the one scene that recontextualizes the entire thing, and that is why Seraph is so good.
Yeah, that's actually probably the direction to go.
If you didn't have that one scene, it would have not been anywhere near what it was.
Melt is one of my two favorite Sakura faces. The other obviously being Kama. Also, the fact that Kama's, what is it? One of her side story things is literally just like, here's your fantasy of a normal high school experience.
You might want to have to jump from one of the right hands, like one of the sides to the middle.
Let's see if I'm... Nope.
Woo!
Oh right, you can't swim. That's why I did these things.
This all leads back into my my final major bits there though, which is, what's your favorite event story? This is gonna be hard to pick because I don't remember a lot of them. I'm sure you guys do either, but
Oh, it's definitely Spish Stars.
Where am I?
that's quite a good one.
Yeah.
Acre.
Good old Saber Wars 2.
Saber Wars
tell
2
you.
was pretty good.
Saber Wars 2 to the beginning of the universe.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's one of the few I actually watched all the cutscenes of.
Yeah. I tend to do all of them for pretty much everything. I ended up skipping a lot in the most recent one, the Bunyan event.
I shouldn't be surprised.
Just imagine
Part of that was just time,
imagine them talking about it in the
But
future.
also
It's
I-
like, yeah, remember the time when I jumped in your back? Well, remember the time where you just completely left me in the dust?
Ow, what the shit?
But also at the same time, I didn't enjoy it that much.
Hey, that's how to dick.
Other than that, pretty much like the Van Gogh one was like the only one I didn't finish, but that was partly just time related stuff.
I enjoyed the Van Gogh one, but I wasn't able to finish it either.
Yeah,
I think-
because I was timing my progression based on an incorrect assumption of how far I had left to go.
I
'Cause I
think
started late, but I paced myself.
Yeah.
I think because I started late on it as well, I decided to skip the cutscenes and just do the gameplay stuff, and I still haven't actually read it.
I started early and then got, but I ended up going so slow that by the time I got to the end, I still had like entire sections left.
Yeah. Basically, I did all the regular
And I
maps. I
had,
was
like,
not expecting the
24
secret
hours.
bonus map to still be story related. I thought it was going to be post story.
Fair.
I think was the big thing for me. But
Yeah, that'll do it.
yeah, Sacred Wars 2 was really, really excellent. I also still have really, really fond memories of, I want to say Gouda Gouda 4? The one where you're actually doing like Warring States shit with the different
You
factions.
have to actually.
That one was good, yeah. I do appreciate the fact that since you're not actually in the Animus, you don't get the Animus HUD.
Yeah.
I think that's a neat touch. Okay, let me try going down.
Yeah, I think go back around the circle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Wait, can we open that door?
No, we couldn't.
Did we try?
I didn't press D on it, but it doesn't. Yeah, I can.
Okay. Just put the check in case it was that silly.
Damn it. Altair is way worse about this than Ezio.
Well, they're being honest to the parkour controls of the first game.
How dare you be completely accurate?
But yeah, whichever one looked like the Warring States Gouda Gouda was a lot of fun.
What is this?
Having Mash
Where
be
am I?
completely into it, take off
be
their
its
heads,
target.
crush our enemies. That was pretty incredible.
She went
Apparently, apparently Mash was like much like certain other fake characters. She was just born in the wrong era. She was born to be the head of a Warring States clan, but cursed to be born in the modern era.
Okay, let's try to beat her to the door. It won't work.
Much like Shiro, Emiya had the misfortune of being born after the Age of Heroes.
Mm-hmm. God, if he'd been born into Camelot, obvious.
This is also apparently the central theme of Samurai Remnant.
Oh yeah, right.
Is that
I forgot that
Aori is born one generation too late.
Mm-hmm.
Born right after the Age of Samurai.
Okay, I don't want to risk moving. Oh, neat. Doesn't actually have a stairwell or anything in there.
Yeah. Maybe there's a ladder on the inside, just behind the door, where we can't see. I doubt it, but it could. Did we might have skipped a trigger.
Yeah.
We did.
There we go.
You're too good at this.
I'm the one true Altair.
Keep going.
Will you hurry up and come up? Please? Please? Thank you. I know I'm throwing these, but like, I don't want it to be that obvious.
Part of that's just the general Guda stuff, but one of the parts about it also, though, is just real deal Nobunaga. It's quite possibly the best. It's quite possibly the best joke in the entire Fate franchise.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if there's room on the other side.
Yeah.
Though I will always remember from very early on in like the original Guda, you know, when you meet like Nobu, it's like, yes, it's true. You know, Oda Nobunaga was actually a girl, and your like response is, what? A girl? No way.
What?
That is pretty good.
Which is a pretty good bit.
Okay, so it looks like that is the right way up. Something's just finicky.
Yeah.
Being
Not
screwy.
working correctly. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, so I went to look it up. The suggestion is that we stand here at this point and somehow climb up onto the thing from here.
I think it might be that the ladder's physics engine is what's interfering. Maybe? Or lantern.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the electric's freaking out.
Also the...
Woo!
Altair, I hate you. Yeah, meant to do that.
You're kind of looking it up right now. For context.
Yeah. Even the how-to videos failing like 4 times in a row before it gets it. Whatever it might be.
Okay.
Okay, so I was doing it right. That was the problem.
I mean, it looks like it was incredibly finicky.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just...
Yeah, so you want to high profile and jump, I guess.
Yeah.
Or hold both to like stand up firmly and then jump.
Love these games.
Come on, I'll tell you.
Love them to death sometimes. Mine or theirs.
Why you gotta do it to us like that?
Yeah, I hate when moments like that happen because I was genuinely enjoying the mission even with the screw-ups until this moment.
Yeah, it's very...
Yeah, based on the traditional binding, it is.
No, I know the buttons. I've got.
Yeah. RT and A, then press A.
Also, the little things like how you have to be right here to go up, you can't do it from right down there.
Yeah, that's...
That's the finicky problem. Okay.
Man, that lantern is,
Okay. you know it's an entertaining stream when this is going to be like half an hour.
To be fair, I've seen worse.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
you got bits like, I know there's the one bit where the whoever was, you know, doing the light puzzle in Resident Evil like 7 for like 8 minutes straight.
True. Okay.
I've seen something in the Phoenix Wright game, you know, stuck on one stage and take like a full hour of like circling back and forth through every location, trying every little thing, you know, trying to figure it out. Yeah, it's a rough world out there.
There we go.
Okay, so it's just hold down and then press so he jumps straight up. I was holding an arrow forward because I thought you had to actually jump in the direction of what you're doing.
But that's silly, apparently.
Even the how-to video said press A again, which you don't have to do, or at least not with whatever the button setup we have is.
Yeah, maybe that's what you need to do if you're using traditional binding.
Also, for whatever reason, Altair is less fluid than Ezio. Also, does anyone remember who she is?
Yes, I do.
I'm guessing you don't still?
Well, once you started talking about it, I had figured it out. But I didn't remember how any of this worked into.
Maria, yeah.
Maria, yeah. I wonder what he wants with
I don't
her.
remember her from the first. I don't even remember her.
Alright, wasn't expecting that.
She's the Templar target that you don't kill, that you go to kill, find out she's a woman, and she escapes.
Okay. I did not remember that. I remember that character, but I did not.
Yeah, I did remember in the moment when we were playing it, but but afterwards I was like, wait a second. That's her.
Yep.
Yeah, I did not realize that personally.
Anyway, this is Desmond's ancestor being...
Wait a second. Why aren't I following Alta here? I'm stuck here with Maria. Oh shit. That must be... This is one weird dream.
That must mean that this is a dream. Very, very, very helpful.
Hi, Maria.
Dear Maria, count me.
Now we just need to have a Caroline.
Yeah, the,
Sorry to
all
barge
the
in on you like this, but it's
story-related
getting late and
meta
we're...
meanings behind that
Hey, you
whole
okay?
scene is
Yeah,
really interesting
all
to
good.
think of
Weird dreams, that's all.
That's all.
All right,
in context of
I'll
this.
let you get ready. See you in a few.
Because one could argue this is kind of the moment.
Good of
one
you
of
to
the tipping
join
moments.
us.
Sorry. Long night.
Where Desmond
What a
kind of flips
professional-
into
what a
being
professional
a bit more
approach.
all in
Leave him
from this
alone.
point on.
Well, you'll
He
forgive
starts
me
to
if I
actually
want to get
believe
some
in it a bit
actual
more rather than
work
just being
done.
dragged along.
Madness, isn't it?
Sean,
So it kind of works
please,
as a
that's
rebirth
enough.
scene the same way the opening cutscene in Dark Souls 1 does. If a little more literal.
Yeah. Oof. That a lot of pops.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
boy.
Like where it's supposed to be.
Hi.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
We lost 2 more teams last night. That's 8 more of us, just... gone.
I'm sorry.
That's rough, buddy.
I don't know what to do anymore. It just keeps getting worse and worse.
My recommendation
remember
is
what you told
having a
me?
girlfriend who is...
You gotta have faith. And look, here we are, safe and
I'm
sound.
not sure if that helps, but...
Well, it certainly
For
doesn't
how
make it
long?
worse.
And when they find us,
In this case.
then what?
When that happens, if that happens, we'll deal with it. I'll keep you safe.
Anyway, enough
with
with
my
my little breakdown. I should get back to work. And so should you.
That was pleasant.
So to get an extra framework, I looked up favorite events for
Okay.
the granddaughter. So I found, in particular, the most recent, one of the most recent ones we have here is from within this last year is a big poll from JP players about their favorite story chapters and their favorite events. And so the final results, first off, we'll go over the story chapters. Number 1, Lost Belt 6. Number 2, Lost Belt 7. Number 3, Lost Belt 5. Then number 4, Babylonia, then Camelot, then Solomon. Then number 7's Heian Kyo, then Shinjuku, then Shimosa, and then Trom at number 10.
Okay. Fair.
So it's kind of exciting. 6.5 and 7 are both also on the top 10 list. I'll be looking forward to playing those.
Indeed.
And then events. Number 1, Willem Harlem. The arcade collab with Beast Nero.
Oh, okay.
That is apparently based on this poll, the number 1 favorite event story.
That's one I'm definitely looking forward to, even though I didn't recognize his name. Because Nero has always held a very, very close place in my heart. The Fate Extra timeline was the first one I really got into.
That's fair.
That's why I love Attila the Hun. That's why I love Nero. That's why my favorite Fate Pro tag is Hakuno. Hakuno?
Yeah, Hakuno.
Hakuno is a favorite for a lot of people.
Between Hakuno, and Hakuno, though, I think I prefer Hakuno over Hakuno and Hakuno.
That's understandable.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Maybe controversial,
I'm
but
fine.
understandable.
I promise.
So,
Sorry, Desmond. I've got to
go-
file these reports.
Go to the Animus War.
I have to approach it from this side.
Yeah.
I have to approach it from the other side.
Yeah, the open side, so the animation can play normally.
Oh my god.
You dingus.
Context sensitive. This game really loves context sensitive mechanics.
First birthday when you need him.
Oh, my cape's not effective in this area.
Alright. The number 2 event. Sarah.
That makes sense.
Which games? Number 3 is Guda Guda 6, which kind of makes sense because that one was quite good. Remember, that was the one with the Lancer Reel. If you played it, got involved in that one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Which I thought that one was a lot of fun. I don't remember the details super clearly right now, but it had a lot of good stuff and it went deeply
Messer Da
into.
Vinci!
Yes?
Buongiorno, ben arrivato. I'm
Which is-
Elvise. Senor Donna has asked that I escort you to the workshop.
I remember it being really
Are you
enjoyable.
ready?
Though I'm not sure what makes it quite this timeless. Number
Ah,
4, I do
yes.
kind of agree with.
What other place is as
Servant
beautiful,
Summer Festival,
as
the Time
stable,
Loop song.
as birth?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That one was pretty good.
With the Dojo Ring, that one was so good.
Come, I will show you her wonders.
And that was the one and only
Our
time we
first
had good
stop,
Blackbeard.
the Rialto Bridge.
Right.
Behold the elegance with
I
which she
forgot he
spans
was
the
good
Grand
one.
Canal, a symbol of Venetian unity
Yeah.
and pride.
Number 5 is the
us
Servant
continue.
Summer Camp one with the lake.
Yeah.
And the
Here we
horror.
are.
Don't think I
San
got through
Giacomo
that
di
one. I
Rialto.
think it just didn't
Oldest
draw
church
me
in
in.
Venezia.
Yeah, there were parts that I didn't like, but I did like.
Her clock
There were a lot
tower.
of things that I did kind of like, the
Magnifico.
horror, stuff being kind of wacky and everything. I was very
Come,
impressed
there's more
by
to see.
the fact that what I thought was just kind of a weird bug at one point, and like eventually led to the fact that like the entire thing had like
No
a
other city
twist
can
it was
match the
hinging on.
size of Venezia's
Yeah.
market. Be it
I thought that
spices
was
or
a bug
silk,
too. I think
from
most
near
of us
and
did.
far. There is.
But it's like it ended up being like a really cool thing, and I did
You
think
were
when
told
this
to
was happening,
stay
I was
home.
like, oh
But the
shit,
rent is paid.
which is
I
always
have
nice.
every right to sell here. Emilio
Can we
disagrees.
do a 7?
No,
Was
no,
number
stop,
6? I
stop.
don't remember which one that is. It says Shin
Well,
Town
that's fishy.
Goku, but
Elsewhere.
I don't. I'm guessing that's the Guda Guda that comes up this year, so I probably just haven't played it yet.
Fair. I might come back to the game when Guda Guda's back.
Yeah, Guda Guda season's always a good time.
Mm-hmm.
They've been pretty consistently good. 3 of the top 10 are Guda Guda.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
Look, isn't it amazing? Would you mind buying it for me? I left my money with my bags.
They really are on a date.
And your step, Corleone.
Hey. I recognize her.
Number 7 is Chaldea Boys 2023, which we haven't seen that one yet, I guess. Well, that's whatever next year's is. It's interesting you made it that high, because most of the Chaldea Boys...
Here we have the Palazzo della Seta, home to Emilio Barbarigo. Normally, I'd suggest
this
a
last
closer
one was
look,
a kind of a
but
full event, but I'm gonna be honest,
the
I
way
skipped
things
the
are
whole
now...
Like, I
Why?
just
What's
didn't
happened?
feel like playing
It
at
is
the time.
tempting to
Just
unify
skipped
the
all
merchants
scenes
beneath a
just
single
to
banner.
finish. I might go
There's
read
been
it later.
resistance.
Like, I probably
Some
will
violent.
kind of enjoy it.
What
but,
kind
like,
of resistance?
Didn't
They
click
say
with
they're
it
fighting
immediately.
for the people, for freedom or some such nonsense.
It's probably
Such
getting
a
everywhere.
nut,
Probably
if
after
you
this
ask
one,
me.
We should probably call it.
It's understandable.
Now we've done a tour of Venice. You can forget it over the course of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
They destroyed my stand.
I can
Demand compensation.
Here you are,
Yeah,
then.
okay. Yeah, because it's the Himiko one.
The Doge will know about this.
Which is
I'll
why
report
that
you to the
Guru-san
council.
has to be the new one, because that's
Good luck with
Yamatai,
that, my friend.
Yamatai Koku again,
But
or a
what
sequel
are you
to that
doing?
one. So that's like, going to be
You're
a sequel to the
under arrest
Himiko
for
one, which
disrupting commerce.
will be
What?
cool, but I don't know anything
You
about
just
it, so that must
invented
be
that.
the next one.
There's no such law.
There is now.
That was the one we just had a little while ago.
Lost Dude had a really great episode about how the cops create the law in their enforcement of it.
Yep. It is absolutely true.
Yeah, it's like a hour and a half video. It's Philosophy 2
Is
video.
that the most recent one?
No, it's
Okay, I didn't think so, because that sounded familiar, but I haven't watched the newest one yet. I will, of course, I just haven't yet.
And
Yeah.
now,
And
I
here we go.
present to you
It's a few
your
episodes
workshop,
back.
Sir Da Vinci.
2 videos back.
We spared no expense in its design. You'll see, it
Your
is
workshop.
perfect, as if you never left Firenze. I wish you great success, and hope you enjoy Venezia as much as she
Look,
enjoys
not
having
not
you.
to be wacky or anything, but with that guy's face model, I feel
So,
like
here
he's
we
going
are.
to try and sell me
Exciting, isn't it?
some kind of
Care to
like
come in? It may be late.
weird
I need to visit the
pyramid
Palazzo
scheme.
della Seta.
I expect
Bringing
him
an audience
It might have been
with
partially the expression he was making right
As
there
you
with
wish.
assuring
Full of
us.
assists,
But should
to
you
be
find
honest.
yourself with
Yeah,
free
where
time,
he's just assuring
or
us
another
how lovely
codex
of a
page,
workshop this is.
don't
Like,
hesitate to
is
visit.
this guy gonna try
The
and
door
like
is
tell
always
me
open.
that like
Grazie,
you
my
can
friend.
make passive income as long as you recruit this many people?
Di nulla.
Now that is the quality content we are here to see.
Genuinely, this is probably Ezio's most pleasant date. Period. Okay.
Emilio Barbarigo, titan of Venetian industry, terror of the underworld. Aided by his powerful family, he cornered the market through smart business practices such as edging out the competition and lobbying the government. He funded the Venetian police force almost single-handedly, keeping the streets safe
That's
from
a normal
crime
politician.
and his
Got it.
finances tax-free. Emilio claims to be a supporter of the Republic. The problem is, once you own the police
So
force,
normal
voting
politicians.
becomes, well, inefficient. As does, opposition.
Yeah, Overly Sarcastic Productions did a episode recently on, did a like 5-minute video, 10-minute video, something like that, on Venice, and it's extremely convoluted democratic system.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, because there's like,
I found
I
this
think
awesome place
5 random raffles between votes
Santa Maria de Frana.
to determine
I've
who's
marked it on
actually
your map.
voting, and I think also who's not eligible.
That's fine.
Alrighty.
But thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
But we got to Venice.
Yes. And we jumped off a tower repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we
Hopefully.
had 0.2 seconds of the truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have any more divine revelations just from rewatching the same quarter-second clip.
I don't know. The more I rewatch it, the more I remember the rest of the video.
I certainly don't.
Alrighty.
So thank you all for coming to join.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week with some more Assassin's Creed.
Same time, same place. This time, Venice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.